Hello, everyone. We are freaking live.
Hello, hello.
I'm here with my girl Cheryl, and we're gonna do commentary for the first time ever.
First time ever. And it should be good because I've watched the video and it's a really good video. And it's not man hating. It is actually good advice for today's dating world, relationship on what a divine masculine looks like in the eyes of a woman.
I haven't seen it, so you're gonna get like raw reactions from me. Absolutely, because I really want to figure out like what's going on. How can we help dudes? Right?
Right?
How can we help dudes? Um, and I'm looking for the divine in the masculine as well as the feminine because
Right, right.
you know I believe that there's a lot of healing that can be done. Absolutely. So all right, let's see. Let me get to where this is from Jade Chanu's channel, and I'm gonna make it big when we start
I
playing it.
really like her.
I really do too. Gosh, she's so beautiful.
She's beautiful. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She talks a
Mhm.
lot about stuff like this, and she goes into like deep dive, not just the polar left and right.
Right. So, okay, let's get over here. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, okay. So, I wanted to give a good background of some men. So, I made a quick collage and that's what we're doing. Yeah, that's what we're looking at right now is some men and it's just different men that I've come across in my life. I think the only one I haven't met here is probably Priapus, that Trailer Park guy at the bottom, and Aleister Crowley. I have met and this Spire guy back here, this occultist Spire guy. I've not met him because one's famous and the other two are long dead. Anyway, that's my dad over there flexing. You see my dad over there
See
with
your
the gorgeous
daddy
hat.
with his Miami Vice glasses.
I know, right? Yeah, that was my dad. He had a black belt in 3 different forms of martial arts. And I wanna
He
say,
was
Marcel,
Studley.
hello. I don't know if he's
Hello,
still in here,
hello.
but it's good to see you, Marcel. Nice to see you. Alright, so we're just gonna get started on this commentary because I have never done it before on a live stream.
Yeah, it's a first for
Well,
me
I
too.
have, but not 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 of this nature. I'll just say that. Not of this nature, I have not. So here we go.
That is true freedom because we're no longer bound by our unresolved trauma, by our shadow.
Oh no! I'm
YouTube
so
turn.
sorry. I know. I know.
Now we're answering to the higher calling of our soul.
The most attractive energy that a guy can have is not being alpha, it's not being red pill, it's not being cocky. It is having daddy energy.
What?
Daddy energy is the most attractive energy and
What?
quality and
Daddy.
that a man can have because it's the perfect balance of confidence, protection, and safety. Three things that a woman will massively crave, especially in a relationship.
I have worked with hundreds of men through the years, and this is the biggest sticking point I have noticed with men in relationship to women. Men tend to be afraid of a woman's ferocity. So, on one side of the spectrum,
That's true.
feminine energy is openness, it's radiance, it's loving. But on the other side of the spectrum, it is pure chaos and raw power. The
Yep.
metaphor I like giving to my masculine clients is the feminine is the ocean. She is all powerful, all consuming, gives life to billions of organisms, and can also kill you instantly. Now, the masculine is the mountain that the ocean can crash against. And this is important. The mountain doesn't judge the ocean for crashing against it or whatever waves of energy that the ocean brings it. The mountain just stands there
What the fuck? We are not mountains and oceans. Okay, whatever.
Well, that's true.
Unshakable,
But I think he's talking about the emotional ocean
You're
thing.
out and about on a date with a man and you catch him checking every other woman out, that right there is enough reason to disappear from his life and not talk to him again. If you want to end the date, but make sure to not talk to him again, because this is a man who is giving into his lust by looking at every other woman, and it's disrespectful as fuck, especially if he's with you. With or without you, it's disrespectful. But the fact that you're there and he's still doing it, absolutely disrespectful. And don't let nobody make you think it's a thing of insecurity or a thing of jealousy. You're just insecure. It's not about insecurity. It's about the principle of respect.
No man plays the victim better than the one who caused the damage. He'll dysregulate your central nervous system and then claim you always disturbing his peace, leaving out the part where he's the reason why you no longer have any of your own. He'll break your trust and then get mad that you always bringing up the past, when really you're bringing up his present day patterns that trigger the memories of the pain he caused.
The most powerful sentence a man can say to a woman is, I am not going anywhere. I am staying with you in the fire.
I can't with this one. I can't with this one. I can smell his cologne. I can smell his cologne. Oh
He has a big old belt buckle.
Oh my God.
Look at my pee-pee.
Not when she's soft,
Fucking hell.
not when she's easy to love, but in a challenging moment, when she's expressing her pain. That's when her nervous system softens, because now she knows he won't run when it gets messy. He's not just here for the pleasure, he's here for the real, the raw, the sacred fire. This is the kind of presence that opens a woman's heart.
The most beautiful gift a man can give a woman is to make her feel safe. Safe in his attentive solidity to express.
Safe from what? They say we need to
It's
feel
vague.
safe. And they say that
Vagueness.
I know it. We need protection. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. They need to express why we feel this way. Yeah.
Her fears, her hurts, her love and her cares. And know that he will remain a solid, masculine container and listen to what she needs.
Hello my loves and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be going over the 10 signs of a divine masculine man. So this is basically what a high value man looks like and the traits and characteristics that he embodies. So this video is going to be basically educating what real healthy, strong masculinity genuinely looks like. So this will basically help both men.
I'm already getting turned on, girl. I don't know if I can handle it.
You're always turned on, girl. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Oh shit, wait.
And women. So if you're especially a single woman, you'll know what traits to look out for when you are dating men and what traits to avoid. And of course, with men, this will be extremely helpful because you'll know what to inspire to not only help yourself, but also help cultivate healthy relationships. So you can avoid falling into really dark pitfalls and going down a very negative path that will ultimately end in suffering, regret, and definitely loneliness. So the first trait is he is protective. So this is probably the number one trait of a man in his divine masculinity, is he's going to be extremely protective. And this doesn't mean that he's going to be controlling or overly possessive or demanding or that sort.
Okay, there's huge difference. And I don't think a lot of them know the difference. You know what I'm saying?
There is a difference for sure. The difference of like what is protection versus domination.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Sort of more toxic masculine energy. He's going to be protective of your emotional safety, your physical safety,
And that's the big one. The emotional safety for women is huge.
Yes, absolutely. Can you guard and protect her heart? Right?
Emotional. And not change her heart, but protect her heart.
Right.
Not just a physical protection that most people instantly think of as soon as you hear protective. Is going to be, you know, both, all in balance, because the emotional safety is so important, probably more important than physical, in all honesty. You know, every day he will need to be in an emotionally protective energy. So this is literally linked to everything that he does, because that is what will really genuinely make a woman feel safe and more in her feminine energy. Because a woman cannot be in her full feminine energy when a man makes her feel unsafe. So if a woman can't trust you because you're being, you know, lying, dismissive, avoidant, have a wandering eye, disloyal in any way, all of that makes her feel emotionally unsafe, which means she will not be able to be fully in her feminine. A divine masculine man understands this, and he is accountable for it. So he won't.
So I want to add in here that, like, my first craft mothers told me to stay away from ceremonial magicians because they know that we are the vessels of the divine and generators and catalysts.
Yes, we generate energy. We are a vessel.
Right. And so if you don't have a guy that is going to be very emotionally protective over your well-being and your emotional needs, you're
Right.
gonna, it seems like you're gonna stay in this constant state of anxiety or cortisol fueled fight or flight.
Well, for both parties, not just the feminine, but for the masculine as well. He's going to have, like, his heart rate's going to be raised because he's so worried about protecting in the sense of physical protection. But women, most of the time, I mean, right now, we're in America, so we don't really need a lot of physical protection, like we can have pew-pews, but the emotional protection is something that I've noticed over the years, is that because men have been taught that they can't show their emotions, or some of them don't have strong emotions like we do, of course, but they've been taught that they can't show emotions, so they don't want women to show emotions because they can't show emotions.
Right. If no one's learned how to process emotions, everybody's just kind of tail spinning everywhere anyway.
Right. And we're always tiptoeing over someone else's emotions and then not being able to deal with our own emotions. And then that's where the chaos begins.
Yeah.
Be only protective of his woman's mental health, physical safety, and spiritual safety. He'll also be protective of, like, other women and other people in general. So he'll have a real sense of injustice. So he'll not tolerate injustice at all. He'll want to help animals or anyone, children. So if he sees any form of, like, danger or attack on a more vulnerable person or being, he'll step in. So this can also be, just using his mouth. So it's not always muscle. It can sometimes just be his psychology, his intelligence as well. So men who are protective also holds other men accountable. So again, this goes hand in hand with protecting women and women's mental health and safety overall. So a divine masculine.
I think that that's a big problem in our society, is men do not hold other men accountable. They do try to hold women accountable, and I get it and I understand it, but I don't ever really see men holding other men accountable.
No, because it's like Doc Till was telling me, Jeva, we can, like, dog each other out and then the next day be like, what's up, bro? No fucks given, right?
Right.
So,
But that's the male.
Yeah. Why
thing.
can they not be as forgiving to women?
Because women are a different breed. Like, they want women to view them differently. So it might hurt them to hurt a woman if they're a good guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And us crying sometimes can make them feel like they're hurt too.
Right.
Masculine man will not have toxic, low vibrational friends that, basically are very negative or abusive towards women at all. They will not
Oh.
tolerate any disrespect towards the feminine. So again, they'll hold toxic men accountable. They'll stand up against that. They won't tolerate any form of disrespect. So they will also know that loyalty is so important. So they won't be friends with men who cheat on their girlfriends or cheat on their wives. You know,
That is huge. That is
That is very
huge.
huge.
They won't be friends with guys that cheat on their partners. That is really huge to be in that type of divine current. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
be
To see that
so-
as disrespect of the feminine completely, not just your feminine, but the feminine in general.
And to stand up against other men and say, you're doing what? No, we can't be friends, right? Yeah, like I don't even know if these men exist. Like this is sounding like a fantasy right here.
I've
they'll
met a
have
few
a
over the
very
years.
deep sense of
Huh?
I've met a few of them over the years, you know, not in relationship with them, but I have actually met a man who decided not to be business partners with another man because that other man was cheating on his girl.
Oh wow.
He lost a job because he was cheating.
Well, it does say a lot about your character too. Like if your business partner's cheating on their spouse, where else are they
Exactly.
cheating? Are
Who
they
can-
cheating you? Are they cheating the
Yeah.
business, right? So I
Exactly,
can
because if you're in a loving, caring marriage, the world, the society looks at you like you're a better person just by being in that marriage. And when you're going into a business and you're cheating, and yeah, the business owner
Right,
knows that
hold
you're
on now.
cheating, they're going to exactly look at it that way. If you can't be loyal to someone that you made a commitment, a lifelong commitment to, then how can you be loyal to my company?
Right. Exactly. Yup. We know you're good, Kahuna.
Yeah, we're not talking about all men. Good
No,
men
we're
do
not
exist.
talking about all men, but you know, it has been my experience that this is turning out to be a fantasy.
Well, you know, like good men are good men until they're not.
Yeah.
Just like good women are
morality.
good women until they're not.
It's Tony Robbins
Oh
and Dean
crap!
Graziosi.
Right?
Tony,
I'm
nope.
good until I'm not. Don't push me, and you won't get
Exactly.
Yep.
We all
So
have
very
toxic
create a
traits.
safe container for his woman, for his girlfriends, for his family and loved ones. He'll be very reliable. He'll build a very solid foundation, a strong pillar of safety and presence. So he won't demand peace from a woman. He'll create it, because a divine masculine knows how to lead and create just with his presence alone. That, you know, he can basically create that safety. And this is what, you know, so many people bang on about, and what men really truly need to understand is your superpower is creating safety. And this is the
Hell
number one
yeah.
thing that healthy, high value women, feminine women always seek, is what they need for a healthy relationship to be stable, to be so secure. So this is what is the number one trait of every divine masculine, is protectiveness, being protective of everything. So number two is every divine masculine is sexually disciplined and loyal. So every man is in his divine masculine energy.
Are we for real just on number 2? I thought we would be on like number 7 because she named
No,
off.
that was just the under number one.
Okay. That's ABC.
Right.
Okay.
Protection,
will
not
know
just
the
protection.
absolute sacredness
physically.
and power of one retaining his seed, retaining his life force, but more importantly, the power of loyalty. He doesn't succumb to lust. He's so much more higher than that. So no masculine man, no high value man in his divine masculinity will ever be a porn addict. So he will not watch porn. He will not have a wandering eye, especially if
Okay,
you're
stop
married
it.
or in a relationship.
The porn has infected the minds of a lot of people in this world. And I'm not going to say just men, but men definitely can have a porn problem, and it interrupts their intimate relationships with women, like women in their real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's been like scientific studies done on the addiction of porn and how it affects their lives.
Yeah, it could
And
cause ED. It causes all kinds of health problems.
health problems, dudes, health problems. ED. You want to take the little blue pill?
Well, that might not even help. That's the thing. These are young men who are in their 30s are having ED because of porn. Like, that
Oh,
doesn't even make sense.
that breaks my heart. They should be fucking like rabbits.
Well, they should definitely be able to get it up in their 30s.
Yeah. Oh, beast. Jeez.
relationship. He will not gaslight you into thinking, oh, you're insecure because you won't lower your standards and allow him to disrespect you by watching porn, liking OnlyFans girls, liking Instagram pictures, being lustful, looking at other women, you know, when he's with or without you. He will basically live in an energy of loyalty and respect. And this means he does not have leaky energy. He's not going to be wasting and being leaky and giving his sexual energy to multiple women. Because
Leaky.
That's what it is, though. If we, not just us women, but human body is the container, and our sexual energy is our life force energy. So when you are giving your life force energy out to if you're just swiping for the numbers game, just to get a date, swiping, and whacking, you're leaky. You are leaking your sexual energy everywhere, your creativity, your will force.
Don't be leaky, people. Okay.
Drip, drip.
because that
Don't do the drip, drip.
is literally what it is. It's micro cheating. Because if you're cheating in your mind, it's the same thing. Because what divine masculines understands is when you cheat in your mind, that can lead to physical cheating. You are committing adultery on your woman in your heart. You have to be loyal from the inside out. Because how can you demand respect if you do not earn it? How can you demand respect from a woman and feel entitled to a woman's love and sexual energy and presence and all the gifts that she can give you if you can't even keep your eyes on her? Because your energy is limited day by day. So if you're literally wasting your energy, giving it to multiple people, it creates all these holes in the relationship from an esoteric point of view as well, because you're literally allowing all this mixed, cluttered energy, which is going to taint the relationship entirely. Because all that energy that you're giving to other people, you could be giving to your partner. And if you're single, you could be giving it to your career, to your business, creating something that's actually worthwhile. Because whether you're single or not, it is such a huge waste of energy, especially if you watch porn and you're wasting your life force every single day. It depletes you, it weakens you, and it makes you more lower IQ, easier to control. It's literally such a huge weapon against men. It's insane.
Okay.
And I literally have done other videos on this. So
When she says it makes them easier control. Now, this is coming from a woman's point of view who has studied Carl Jung analytical psychology. And when men have not balanced their feminine or worked with their anima, they can see women as a fantasy. They don't see the real woman. They see the fantasy. And if any girl understands that about that man, he is easy to manipulate.
Right. Exactly. It's so sad. And I see women doing that to men all the time. And I'm like, it's so crazy to me. It is so crazy and manipulative to me.
It really is. And men don't understand. Men don't understand what's going on because they don't maybe research this stuff. They're not into psychology. They're not into the spiritual side of things. But women, if they are bad women, they can pinpoint what your fantasy is and they will play on that.
Exactly. Exactly. They will weaponize it. But guys do it too.
Well, that's true. Guys do it, but not to the extent of their sexual fantasies. That's the most
go check that
primal
out,
nature.
What did you say?
That's their most primal nature that it's hitting on, the sexual energy.
Mm-hmm.
Every divine masculine has this awakening and he sticks to it. He's consistent with it because, again, this is linked to creating emotional safety. So if he doesn't protect her emotional safety by being loyal to her, you're never going to have a healthy relationship. It's always going to be flawed. So you cannot demand that a woman be faithful to you, respect you, treat you like a king, etc., when you're literally disrespecting her every single day, when you're cheating on her in your mind every single day. It's the most damaging thing that a man can do, because it does cause brain damage, and it can lead to really disturbing things that I can't even, talk about on here. I do dive deeper more on my Patreon about these types of things, but or go check out my older videos. But every divine masculine, he sees this. He accepts that this is a very dark truth, and he understands that his sacred sexual energy is so important to protect. One, for his sake, to keep his consciousness and level high and intelligent and protected, but also for the sake of his partner, for the sake of his marriage, for the sake of his children. His sexual habits affect every single person in his entire life. So number 3 is a divine masculine is a builder and not a destroyer. So basically this means that
yes, hallelujah. Hallelujah, the divine Mars. Hell yeah. Okay, sorry.
he is very supportive of pretty much everything that is, for his own greater benefit, and also the benefit of others around him, in his close circle, and also within the world. So every divine masculine, when they come into your life, they'll make you grow. They'll make you, reach your highest potential. Like a divine feminine will do, with a divine masculine, you'll be a great team together. So they won't be an energy drainer.
The team part she was talking about, like, just in my life experiences with men, is that most men want you to hook onto their North Star, onto their destiny, and help you build their destiny. And like, I'm pretty independent in that regards, because I follow, the metaphysical side of things and the spiritual side of things, and I know what my North Star is. So I think the teamwork and building, like, I want to build, but it's so hard for a woman to ask a man to help her build, because they always want to be the builders.
Right, and the leaders.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in my other video about how men can siphon your energy. So with toxic men, they siphon the life out of women, and they deplete you, they destroy you, they break your spirit, they destroy your life. A divine masculine will not do that. So a divine masculine will bless your life. When he comes into you, he'll make you feel alive again. He'll make you feel healed. He'll make you feel loved, heard, seen. He builds your confidence. He builds your beauty. He'll help you build, anything really. So, but he also does it on himself. A divine masculine will know the importance of not being in a self-sabotage energy. He won't destroy himself. So this will look like, he has a lot of discipline. This will look like, him building his health, building his body, building a career, a business, building his mental health. This is what helps him step into that leadership energy. This is how he earns respect. He doesn't demand respect. He earns it by living and walking the path. And
that is really big, because there's so many people that just demand respect or think they should have respect, right?
Right, exactly.
Especially on the internet.
Yes, especially on the internet. The internet is a dog-eat-dog world, and it's like trying to play King of the Mountain or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This doesn't mean that he's just, a workaholic in hustle culture, obsessed with just making money. He has a much higher purpose than that. Builds, himself into his highest potential possible. And this looks like doing the hard things too. So he's not just purely going to the gym, purely earning money. He'll definitely be ambitious and working on those things, but He won't be doing it just for superficial, gratification. He won't be doing it just to like show off and look like, some big guy. He won't be doing it from a place of ego. He'll be doing it from a place of real deep maturity. So this is what I mean. Like, he won't just be selfish and hustling and purely one-sided with being just a workaholic or whatever. And he certainly will not be self-destructive in the way of
And
like
that
doing
right there,
drugs,
let's pause it on
drinking,
that one.
gambling.
The workaholics, because we all know good men who bust their ass every day. They don't want to go to the doctor. They just want to work because that's what they have been programmed to think that they are supposed to do because of being the provider. And I think that's really, I don't like that about guys. And not that it's a wrong thing to be, but because they do work so hard. I've met men who will work until they have nothing left to give, not even give themselves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad. And it's women will do the same, right? They will work.
Right. But I'm talking about their bodies, a man's body. Like when hardworking men work and they are hard workers, they are killing their bodies.
Yes.
Like before they're 50 years old.
I've dated laborers and construction workers. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, one construction worker, and he like wore himself out. It makes you
exactly
old.
They wear themselves out to where they hurt. By the time they're in their 50s, their whole body hurts, and and it causes mental and emotional stress for them.
Absolutely.
Being very reckless, being unstable. They're not supposed to be in that chaotic feminine energy whatsoever. Divine masculines are supposed to be like the sun. This is why in esoteric ancient traditions, they always associated men with the sun. Women are associated and connected to the moon. Women have cycles. We're always up and down because we're more connected to that spiritual energy. But with divine masculines, they're supposed to be that stable, strong sunlight. And when they are in that energy, they help things grow. So number 4 is he does shadow work. So every single divine masculine would have gone through intense rebuilding of himself. So again, like I was saying earlier, he built.
Hey, Stone Bible Study, welcome.
Builds on himself, but by being able to do that, he has to go through intense spiritual initiations. He has to go through intense challenges that he overcomes.
Intense spiritual initiations is what I think we're seeing a lot of men go through right now.
Yes, a lot of men are going through that for sure.
Absolutely.
And it's the fire they're going through. It's the purge, like my astrologer friend Rodney was talking about. It's the purge.
Mm-hmm.
So this looks like him overcoming his traumas. This looks like him doing very deep integration work. This looks like him wanting to be a better man so he can treat women better, so he can treat his partners better, his family, his friends. So he builds and heals himself so he can be better of service to the world. So this is what I mean. He doesn't just live from a self-centered, selfish, narcissistic way at all. He heals his own traumas so he can be a better man for the world. So he can be a better man, knowing that that's what will give him fulfillment. So many men are lost nowadays because they're chasing all this instant gratification. They're chasing all these superficial, empty things that they think will make them feel good about themselves when it doesn't. Men in their divine masculines know and understand that the thing that makes them feel good, the thing that makes them flourish in their masculinity, is to be of service. And this is what they heal within themselves. This is why they heal their traumas and shadows, so they can be of service, because this ultimately is what makes them happy. So this is what they understand, and this is why they try to live from a place of love and not their ego. A divine masculine heals his trauma so he doesn't traumatize others. So instead of projecting his darkness and traumas onto the world, onto women, onto partners, onto his children, onto anyone, He sees his inner demons. He acknowledges his flaws. And instead of just projecting or dismissing or literally taking it out on people and being abusive,
Or playing
he
with his
looks
inner
himself
demons.
honestly in the mirror and he understands, right, I can't do this anymore. That needs to go. That needs to be healed. So he's very honest with himself. He rips off the mask of his ego. He rips off the mask of his trauma.
That's graphic and dramatic.
Well, that's kind of how it feels like when you go through shadow work. It's intense. It's way more
Yeah.
intense than fucking with people online and getting upset and about whatever happens online. Go through your own shadow, and the most intense shadow work is when you're in a partnership. You really can't do shadow work when you're not in a partnership because you have no mirror.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We are the other's mirror. The other is our mirror. Exactly.
And he is able to look himself very honestly in the mirror without suppressing or numbing his traumas either,
Great
because so
topic,
many
girl.
toxic males will numb all of it with drugs, with addiction, with sex, with porn, with all these types of things. And then that prevents them from ever looking in the mirror, from ever doing shadow work. So this is what's so important, that divine masculines know they have the courage. They're not cowards. They have the courage and the strength to look themselves in the eyes and really see what is holding them back. They see their darkness, that tainted auric fields that they need to banish, that they need to exercise, that they need to purge out and detox. And this is brutal. So this is what I mean, that every single divine masculine, like divine feminines, will go through intense, brutal shadow work so they can shed that layer, so they can remove all those blockages, all those tainted distortions, so they can flourish in their divine masculinity and be that safe, strong, protective, completely vibrant energy that the world needs. You know, because so many divine masculines think that they're in this energy purely because they are.
I wonder how much of this shadow working coming through the other side is mystery cult based, really.
Well, I mean, like,
You know?
old buddy Carl was Hermetic, so.
Yep.
Understand, that we live in a matrix, and they have all this knowledge of conspiracies and whatever, or they're very spiritual, but that's not enough. That is not enough. That is just one layer. That is one layer. The most important layer is your inner matrix, is your inner demons, is your darkness. What are you projecting to the world? Ironically, they'll watch films like The Matrix and whatever, and they'll have this God complex and think, oh, I'm like Neo in The Matrix, when they're not. They're more like the villain who wants to live in ignorance when he's eating the steak, saying ignorance is bliss,
like what she
and he
said,
wants to live in that.
Hey, Ariel. You
Buffy's,
collecting
hello.
if you're not making mead with those jasmine flowers, you better be like sticking them in some alcohol.
I really like what she says here.
Okay, what did she say?
About, well, just play it. I was just making a comment.
Okay.
You know, delusional, pleasurable, distracted energy of watching porn, partying, drugs, whatever. No, like Neo lets go of all of that. He literally sheds that shell. He doesn't want to be a part of it. This is what divine masculines truly understand, and this is why they know they have to do a lot of very deep shadow work to undo all this patriarchal conditioning, to undo all this severe dark brainwashing, so they can get to that state. You know, he understands that he has to have balanced feminine and masculine energy. He can't be too much in a toxic feminine energy, being dismissive, being emotionally unavailable, but then he can't be too in a toxic masculine energy either.
And
so
that's
it has,
something
he has
guys
to
don't
find that
understand about
middle
themselves.
spot. He has to be balanced.
What?
That's something guys don't understand about themselves. I said that's something guys don't understand about themselves is they have toxic feminine energy. When guys are whiny and dismissive and everything sucks, that's considered feminine energy.
Yeah. Like, okay, Doc Teal's channel, on Doc
Yeah.
Teal's channel, yes, last night was the fucking dude drama. I was like, oh my God, we're
Oh
having
God.
dude drama. And the
It was a
dude drama
counseling
was like,
session.
I know it was a counseling session. It was worse than like my drama. I'm like, what the
It
hell's
was
going
total
on?
girl drama. It was like
I
girl
know
fight.
it was. And I was like, what is going
Pull
on?
up, fishy, fishy.
What world am I in? Melodrama? Yeah, okay. So yeah, they were what's his name? Volt or whatever's in his messy feminine right
Vito.
now. Vito.
Vito.
Vito's in his messy feminine right now, sending energy. Chill that bitch out.
Why are they being mean to me?
I don't know.
With both, and only through very deep shadow work and then integration of that can he truly achieve this. And then that's when he becomes truly unstoppable. And number 5 is a divine masculine has a very open heart. So every single divine masculine, because he's done obviously a lot of trauma work, he doesn't live through his ego. He has basically been able, through all of that darkness, all of that initiation, to open his heart. So this looks like now he will see and hear, especially his woman's pain. So every single divine masculine will have the emotional capacity and the emotional intelligence and availability to now see you and hear you without dismissing your pain,
Hello,
without
Hannah.
running away, without being avoidant, without being flaky, because he has extreme empathy now. So empathy.
Hello, Windhammer. Yes, I fully agree. I fully agree. And Cheryl and I mean to do what we can to cover as much of this subject and like subjects in the future, because we want everyone to try to fucking heal. I mean, this world's going to shit and I don't like it.
We need a balance of the masculine and feminine, not dominance of either or. We need a balance of.
Exactly.
Is obviously the key to having an open heart. And this is why, you know, men have to do their own inner shadow work and heal their heart chakra and open it, and realize that doesn't make them weak. It makes them fucking strong, because it is hard to do that. It takes a lot of strength to feel and accept other people's pain.
Yep.
And
you know,
courage.
it is brutal to do that because it fucking hurts. But when they do that, that's when they flourish. That's when they're able to be in such a strong, attractive energy. That's what will make every single relationship they have blossom. Because now, if a woman comes to him in a very emotional, chaotic, or stressed out energy, he can relax her like that. A man with an open heart will literally be able to relax your nervous system so easily, literally at a click of his fingers, to be honest.
And I do.
So this is what I mean when I said earlier.
I actually have friends, male friends, that I can be just like in my bottom pit and be like, I need someone to talk to. And they will talk to me and not make me feel bad for having emotions. And they're just friends.
Yeah. It's important. It's important to have a balance of masculine and feminine friends.
Right. And it's important for men to understand that women are emotive. You know, we're not like men where we hold our emotions inside. We have to get them out or we're going to go crazy, because we are the dark feminine. We are the dark.
It physically hurts my body. It physically hurts my body to try to contain emotions. And the older I get, the worse it is. I mean, I am on the spectrum. I have ADHD, but I've always been that way. To try to contain my emotions is like, it hurts the pores. You can feel it in the pores. So,
well, the containment, just for the space to be a woman, you know?
Earlier, that a man's superpower is safety, because he, instead of being dismissive or avoidant or whatever, he'll have such strong energy and emotional intelligence through opening his heart, being soft and strong, and assertively be able to calm you down, assertively be able to express his love and hold you and create that safety, or that container of safety again. So this is what I mean, that a man, he'll be able to calm down things so easily just by having an open heart. And this doesn't mean that he's a pushover or a nice guy. That's not what it means at all, because he will still have very strong boundaries. He'll be strong and assertive when he needs to be, but he'll always communicate in a very respectful manner because he has empathy, not apathy. You know, a man that has a very shut down, closed heart will never have empathy for you. He'll never acknowledge your pain. He'll be very, very narcissistic. He'll be really, really self-centered, dismissive, emotionally avoidant. And this can create so much pain and turmoil in people connected to him, you know, in extreme ways. And this is what divine masculines know. So divine masculines also acknowledge that the more they open their heart, the more they allow themselves to receive love. Because a lot of men, they're scared or don't want to open their hearts because they have no self-love. So this is why sometimes men who are really traumatized, who haven't done their shadow work, they will literally get triggered just by a woman giving them love, because they're
Or showing any kind of emotion.
Right. Right. Well,
I'm dealing with this in my personal life. Exactly what she's talking about right there. Like I'm not allowed to be in my emotive state because a man doesn't like it, because he's not emotive. And so it's
well,
it's trying to make me like, it makes me feel like I'm supposed to be a man. And then so many men complain about women being in their masculine energy. Well, what are we supposed to do?
mhm. The thing she said about, you know, triggering them just by showing them love, I've experienced that. I've experienced that to
I
a
hope to. Some
very
they run to the hills if you actually want to show them love, because they're so used to toxicity.
right. Yeah. Yeah, they don't know how to act. It is, they see it as a form of weakness, maybe. Kind
Or
of
just
weakness.
from a different perspective, we're not talking about the good guys when I make this statement. We're talking about those assholes who like women in pain, who think it's sexy because
Mhm.
they show emotion, but the wrong kind of emotion. Not, it's more of a dramatic, I want you and I'm going to be crazy about you emotion. And some of those guys really like that.
Yeah. Discernment, guys. We got to really work on our discernment here.
their heart chakra is so shut, it won't let them receive any love. Divine masculines will never be ashamed or embarrassed to show how much they love their girlfriends, how much they love and respect their wife. They'll, be like their wives and girlfriends, biggest cheerleader. They won't be scared to hold her hand or kiss her in public. They'll be very open with the intimacy and love and affection that they show. They won't be embarrassed of it, in front of their friends or whoever. They won't give a shit. They'll literally be, that is a true Sigma strong male, is they don't give a shit what people think. They live with an open heart, fearlessly. So number 6 is he has a very confident yet humble and mature presence. So like I was saying earlier, divine masculines are not easily led astray. They have more of like a Sigma energy than an alpha energy. And all of that is very misleading anyway. But what I mean is divine masculines, they don't care what other people think. They're very much their own person. They're very much in that leadership energy within. They're not loud. They don't demand that they have to be respected and they're a king and they're an alpha. They don't need to. They really don't need to. It's like they just ooze that within their aura. They ooze this confident, mature.
I want to say that my dad, and let's pull it down. This one down here, if everyone can see. Hello, Paula.
Hello, Paula.
How are you? This one right here, this one flexing here is my dad. And what she said just reminded me of my dad. So, all right. So here we go.
Mature masculine energy without saying a word. They literally live by it. So I guess a good example that I can use with this is
Yes, Windhammer, a dime
Well,
breed for sure.
yes, and what she's talking about with this just energy, this masculine energy. It's like that meme that, you know, a lion doesn't have to say it's a lion. We all know it's a lion because of its energy. It's also that statement that a lot of women use, like big dick energy. They didn't even have to have a big dick,
Right.
but it's the energy. And
Exactly.
a lot of guys thinking exerting dominance over women gives them that energy. No, it's that silent, steady hand that gives them energy.
Yeah, and well, and the reason I wanted to show my dad was someone that in jeans and a t-shirt walking in front of the courthouse had guys in suits getting off the sidewalk and into the grass and saying, "Excuse me, sir." You know? And I don't think my
Right,
dad
being kind, a
Yeah.
kind-hearted man.
Yeah, and he was very
But that
disciplined.
doesn't take shit.
Yeah. Well, he had a black belt in 3 different forms of martial arts, so he was a very disciplined man. Exactly. Props to you. It had some decent definition. Props.
Pops.
Yeah, we
Your
know
dad
that
had some
they are a
definition.
dying breed, okay?
Yes,
Dying
very much
breed.
so.
I'm gonna like sing a song to call this divine masculine back. I'm gonna come up with a song. I'm gonna write it, okay?
is if you've
You
watched
right,
the
girl.
movie Ip Man and how humble he is, even though he can literally break someone's neck like that. So it's like a lot of healthy martial artists usually have this energy that I've seen with men. And I also met a man like this in real life where he was like physically so strong, but he had the most loving but assertive energy, pure divine masculine energy, without really needing to do or say much. So it's like they have this quiet confidence, and their presence alone oozes this healthy, assertive masculinity. So, and that in itself is what's so attractive, is because they're very mature, they're very grounded, they have this energy that just oozes safety as well. So it's like, they're strong, they'll can protect you, but they're also safe to be around. You don't feel anxious around them, you don't fear them, you don't feel unsafe to be in their presence. Their presence alone, when they walk through a door or when they join a group or whatever, it instantly creates this bubble of like protection. They don't have to,
And it's not
they
just
don't
a safety.
external validation.
It's not just a safety of like physical safety, like she was talking about earlier. It's a safety of emotion. Like, can I be myself around you without you judging me or trying to change me?
Right, exactly. Am I gonna be under scrutiny every time I walk out the door? Right?
Exactly. Do I have to walk on eggshells with your emotions?
Right, right. What type of compromise or weirdness do I have to endure around your family, your friends?
Do
Like
you
what?
show your family and friends me? Like, do they
Right.
know that you love me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like they can have such a smart, beautiful minds and still be extremely masculine. So they don't go around demanding that they be heard and listened to or whatever. They literally just speak from their heart. They speak truth. And that alone is what earns them respect. That alone is what makes their confidence grow. But, so many men go around with low self-esteem and low confidence because they don't do shadow work. And this is why time and time again, I keep saying that is the key for both men and women. The thing that creates confidence, genuine confidence, not fake, toxic men, seeking external validation, is when you actually face your inner demons and conquer them. So, fake confidence is what insecure men will project And that is, you know, them saying, oh, you got to be 6 foot and earn millions and drive a Bugatti, you know, to be respected as a masculine man, to be a high value man. You've got to go around shagging women, and you've got to be above women. You've got to control and dominate them. All of that is bullshit. All of that is complete fake, you know, very insecure, toxic masculinity. That is not masculine energy. That is literally the intelligence, really, of like a 13-year-old teenage boy who has severe mummy and daddy issues. Okay. So do not fall for these, you know, red pill alpha podcasts.
Yeah, control, like only child syndrome or some shit. I don't
Well,
know.
it's love with control, and that's not love.
Nope. Sand really, really, really falls out of your hand the tighter you squeeze.
Type men, they are not confident.
I've noticed a lot of men get upset when you say you don't need them, you want them.
Yeah, they need to be needed, I guess.
Right, but I'd rather be wanted than needed because it comes from the heart.
Right. I mean, yeah, of course. Absolutely. Look at that look. I gotta get it off of there. Look, she's like,
they're not high value. Even if they make money, it doesn't mean shit, because high value women, they cannot stand that. They do not go around wanting, you know, and an Andrew Tate wannabe. They literally, you know, it's nauseating. It's nauseating. The only type of women that will go for men like that will be the ones who are very low value themselves, or just wanting to use them for their money. And that's literally it. And then they wonder why they get cheated on and that sort of thing. So it's like, it's both toxic. So it's like, you know, high value women do not seek that at all. So this is what men need to understand, that all of that is a lie. All of it is a facade. And divine masculine see that very obviously. They see it obviously and clearly. They understand the absolute, you know, nonsense and ridiculousness of it all. And they laugh at it, quite frankly. And this is what I mean, is like they have that very humble confidence. They're not easy to influence in a toxic way. So divine masculines are not impressionable. They have very deep integrity because they live a moral lifestyle. They do their shadow work. They have very high standards, very high self-discipline when it comes to everything in their life. So this is what makes them not impressionable by very low toxic males. And this brings me to number 7. So every divine masculine man, he will live a very high purpose. He'll be of service. So again, this doesn't mean that every divine masculine has to be some spiritual guru or whatever, but he'll live a purpose that is of that energy. So he'll strive to be of service. He'll strive to be in his higher self. He'll strive to do what he can to grow and to heal and to inspire others, to help others. And this can be in any job type, to be honest. So, but most of the time is they'll want to do something that's of healing. So this can be like, you know, the best example I can think of, ironically, was actually Steve Irwin. So beautiful man that we lost, you know, far too young. But he was such a good example of a divine masculine man. So even though he wasn't some old spiritual guru or coach, he was literally so devoted to his purpose, which was of, you know, obviously helping animals, educate people about animals, building sanctuaries and, you know, educating people about the planet and the environment and protecting them. And he had this passion, this drive, this discipline, this devotion. And he also treated his wife, you know, beautifully. She, you know, their relationship was beautiful. And this is why she never remarried when he passed away, because it's like, you know, divine masculines like that, they're not easy to replace. But, you know, fortunately, we can now see that in his son. So he's now taken his space and he's literally like, you know, a mini version of his dad. And it's so beautiful to witness. But you see that same passion, that same drive, that discipline that they have, but you know, it has this lightness as well, this beauty to it. So many men, you know, in this divine masculine energy, they have that. And it doesn't mean, you know, it can be seen in so many different ways, but usually it's of something to do with healing the planet, healing people, inspiring people, protecting animals, doing something along those lines.
If I wanted hair hanging down my back like the
Damn,
ancestors
YouTube.
blessed it person.
I know, and Granny, they've used her up. It's awful.
You know, being a lawyer, you know, working in the justice system, it can be, you know, so many different types of work. It can even be a house husband. Like, you know, men don't have to always be in those roles, those positions, you know, men who just literally show so much love, so much devotion to their family, you know, because we all go through different cycles and, you know, in life. So it doesn't mean that you have to be a successful man, but you strive to do something like that. You strive to be financially stable, mentally
And
stable,
I think a lot of guys,
physically stable. In all ways, you have this high purpose.
I think a lot of guys, that's what's holding them back. They don't know their purpose, and they go into the world thinking that just making money just for money's sake is a purpose, when really it's a ball and chain.
Yeah. Yes, it is not a life purpose at all, right?
No,
You
not
are
unless you love it.
right. Yeah, and you're fulfilling someone else's purpose.
Right. If it's not touching your heart and you're making money off of it, but you hate it, it's not your purpose.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, and you have to do a lot of shadow work and soul searching to figure out your purpose. Maybe even, you know, some extra supplements, you know, to figure out your
society,
purpose.
right. And the society that we live in. Okay, so I'll use over the years I've used the Mad Max movie Furiosa, the older one with Charlize Theron, I think is in it, not the new one, the dumb one, but it's okay. So it's that scene where he's on the front of the car and he's got the metal plate on his mouth and he's flashing back to the memories of when like his little girl got ran over, and how that world's all about capturing the divine feminine and using it, like, you know, putting chastity belts on him and making them do this. And he finally wakes up to his purpose, and it's through dreams and it's through his daughter. And this reminds me of that, because like men want to be there for women. Men love women, but we all are so hurt and we're all just bickering back and forth, tit for tat. And men,
Oh, I'm so sick of that tit for tat shit.
oh yes, it's tit for tat. Like I could be talking about what has gone on in my life on a social outlet, and I have guys that's never even talked to me before being like, "What about this and what about that?" And I'm talking about something personal that actually happened to me, and they don't think about that. They think about their own sad story that happened 15 years ago.
But that being said, that does not mean that you have to be a multimillionaire. So a lot of divine masculines, they will usually go through some sort of awakening, or they'll just have this absolute beautiful passion for something, and then they use it, they channel it into the world. And it brings this beauty, it brings this healing on planet Earth that's so needed. You know, another one, you know, other men that I see that do this is when, you know, they go around protecting animals. There's a beautiful guy that I follow on Instagram that does this. He'll usually go to, like, you know, quite rural, rough areas like Egypt. And they'll go around, you know, being animal activists. So there's so many divine masculines that are strong, passionate animal activists, because again, they have that open heart chakra. They see the injustice. They want to do something to protect them. They protect the vulnerable. Bring awareness to,
Hey, Marcel, you're late.
real darkness of this world. They'll stand against those things. So a lot of divine masculines, they'll either be extremely devoted and loving to their family, so they'll have more of a normal job, but when they're at home, they're doing it to protect and provide for their wife, for their children. They're still building that very stable home life. Or
it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna after this goes, we've got like 20 more minutes. We're gonna give the StreamYard link and let everybody come up and let's talk about it.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They literally have this purpose within them, and then they need to go and fulfill that. But whatever the case, it's being of service. So this can look like many different things, but it's not just, him going out to fulfill his own selfish desires. That's what a narcissistic man does. That's what a selfish man does. That's what a man who is very disconnected from his heart will do. All they care about is earning money, is their ego, is, you know, doing things to like get things. They live for pleasure, not purpose. That's really the ultimate truth, is a divine masculine man lives for purpose, not pleasure. And again, this doesn't mean that he can't enjoy things in life, but that is his ultimate goal and he's passionate about it. And again, you'll see it because he genuinely cares, because he has an open heart, because he has empathy, because he's connected to that protective energy. So this is what he will project into the world. This will be his gift to the world. And number 8 is a more simple but very important one. And every divine masculine is impeccable with his words.
Oh,
So this means that
my God. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus is going to have to take the wheel because this is so.
Holy All Father, let's go.
that you will not see a divine masculine man being a liar, being shady, being sneaky, being flaky, being deceptive in any way. You know, those types of energies disgust divine masculines. They hate it. And to live a life embodying integrity means to be authentic. It means to be open, honest, and not a liar. So divine masculines, they're extremely authentic, which means they do not lie to people. They're not shady. They're not going to be backstabbing or manipulative or whatever the case. He literally doesn't need to do any of that. Because again, that's very much like a cowardice energy. You'll see a lot of men who do that are either very predatory, so they're grooming you. So a lot of the times this will be obviously men, you know, grooming women just so they can sleep with you or whatever, or love bombing you, future faking you to then siphon off.
Let's talk about the word grooming. Okay, like let's not use that word for dating. Grooming, I think of that as like grooming young kids, teenage girls. You know, that's when I hear that word, that's what I think. When we're talking about dating adult men and adult women, you know, it's not really grooming. It's a strategy. A lot of men use strategy to get women and not coming from their heart. They're playing like manipulative games just to be able to talk to a woman or to get their phone number or, you know, whatever. And it's strategy.
Yeah, they're using logic to get laid.
And not their heart. And authentic conversations.
Right. That's not divine. That is, what was it she said? That was pleasure over purpose.
Yes.
I need to make a meme of that. Remind me to make a meme of that.
If I
energy, divine masculines will never do that. They will never be in that predatory, sneaky, dark sort of energy ever. So this disgusts the hell out of them. They are literally impeccable with their word, with their truth, and they stand for truth. They live truth. So this is just as important to them as it is with a divine feminine. So this also creates safety and trust and stability in all areas of his life. And again, this is also connected to his self-worth, because a man with really so low self-worth will always be lying constantly. He will never keep his words. So a man who is impeccable with his words, he builds self-respect. He builds such a level of self-respect because he respects other people. So this is why he doesn't need to go around manipulating or grooming or being predatory in any way, because he literally understands that he doesn't need to do that. He literally is above all that shit. That's a very cowardice, low vibrational, weak-minded way of getting what you want. Divine masculines, they get what they want by living a life of integrity and truth, because that creates trust. He earns trust. He doesn't demand it. You know, so many toxic men will demand that their women trust them, even if they've lied to them a million times, even when they've been deceptive, even when they've betrayed you. Like, loyalty and authenticity is so important to divine masculines. So they won't just outwardly say, oh, respect me, you have to trust me. They'll literally prove it to you. So this is what I mean. He's just impeccable with his words, with his mouth.
Impeccable with his words and his mouth. Right. And it does take two to tango, Marcel. You are correct. But lot of these men, when they use strategic ways to get in a woman's pants, they target women out of love. And when women are looking for love, it's not really a weak mind, it's a weak heart.
And bad discernment. Everyone pray for discernment, y'all. Pray
Yes,
to
the weak
whatever.
heart of the woman because she's looking for love.
Yeah, and we need great discernment when we are interacting with anyone. Anything is an energy exchange.
He proves it to you with his actions. If he says he's going to do something, he does it. So this will be like little things as well. So if you ask him, oh, can you fix this? Can you help me move that? He'll do it. He won't make you wait and be like, yeah. Like he will listen to you. He'll literally say and stick to things that he's going to do and literally show you that he's trustworthy. He'll show you that he does respect you. He does love you. He does want to protect you. So he won't just, say any old bullshit and then later like switch up on you, be flaky and hot and cold. He sticks to what he says. And number 9 is he honors the feminine. So unfortunately, so many toxic men literally hate women because a lot of the time they'll have this very deep wounding around the feminine or very deep patriarchal brainwashing. So a lot of men is such a deep, rabbit hole, and I can't get into it all, in this video, in this point, because it's very deep, but a lot of men will feel, entitled to a woman's energy purely for their own gratification, usually sexually. So a divine masculine does not view women like that. So again, this links to, number 2, but a divine masculine honors everything about the feminine. He sees her, he hears her, he acknowledges you. So he'll never view women as like, oh, sex toys. He'll never view women as like, oh, a little trophy wife. He'll never view women as like, oh, just a mother role to like do his dishes, do his laundry and look after him. He'll never put women in that kind of slave role. So basically he never uses, exploit.
I've noticed a lot of men are like, they're always, what do you do for me? When they want something, what do you bring to the table? And of course, when I'm being like facetious, I'll be like, bitch, I am the table. But that's not really true. Back in the day, men had to earn women. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to take you out on one date and then you're my woman and you're not supposed to talk to any other person. No, you had to date. You had to prove yourself, your trust, their safety. Men nowadays just expect you to move in with them and then you should just listen to them and submit.
Right. And accept trauma dumping. So
yes, I'm supposed to be their therapist.
Yeah, you got to figure out all that stuff. I mean, we could go back to like this 1800s book of the English woman and what she was supposed to do and be, and how she was trained to be the therapist, the cook, the doctor, the seamstress,
everything.
Right. Everything. Yeah, everything.
And that's why women feel like they are in their masculine, because men are like, what do you do for me? A lot of us, especially our age, we remember a time before, 10 years ago where men actually cared for us. And it wasn't like, get back in the kitchen.
Right. And I agree with you, Marcel. I agree with you.
Yes,
There's
definitely on all sides.
It's called Clarity by Zed. If you go watch Clarity by Zed, Marcel, and I know you're trained to see the symbology of the sacred union of opposites, go watch Clarity by Zed, Zedd. If you like EDM, if you don't, go listen to it anyway. It's great. Okay.
Or abuses the feminine ever. He honors her. So again, the best example I can use for this is like Gomez Addams in the Addams Family. He confidently worships Morticia, but in a healthy way. And toxic men will call men who do this simps. Oh, you're such a simp. Literally just for respecting and treating a woman That's not
I have been in this arena. I have seen it countless times. I can attest. And I told this one man that just because a man chooses to respect a woman and show her respect in public, that does not make him a simp.
No, it makes him respectable, not of just the woman, but of himself. Why would he want to pretend like he doesn't love his woman when he does?
Right, right.
Like,
Although
like
I don't know
Marcel,
about
you're talking about Gomez.
like, get off my hand, stop kissing me, go.
Well, it is a good archetype, though. If we're talking about symbols and archetype, look at the way he looks at her.
Oh yeah.
And look at the way she looks at him. Like, she might be looking away, but she's still got a smirk on her face. Like, oh my God, this guy is just like my love.
The energy between them at all times, it doesn't matter which version of it, of the atoms you see, the energy between those two is in constant lovemaking, right?
Exactly. And it's worship of both. It's not just him worshiping her. She worships him because he treats her good.
Right. Right. Not because he has a big ass family fortune. I think it's actually her family's fortune. But so their energy is like constant. It's that constant love making energy that you feel. That's why you're so drawn to them.
And that's when they're in their best, men and women. Men are attracted to women who have self-confidence just as much as women are attracted to men who have self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Not abusive. Like, that's how bad things have got nowadays. So divine masculine men, just any healthy masculine man, will see and acknowledge that they actually honor women. They respect and love women. They like women. You know, toxic men will literally try to brainwash other men that all women are evil, all women are bad, all women are gold diggers, all women can't be trusted, blah, blah, blah. They project that wounds, they project that toxicity on other men purely because they can't open their hearts themselves. It's all a projection of their own insecurity and low self-worth, trauma, or narcissism. But ultimately, no divine masculine will ever see a man treating a woman with love, respect, cherishing her, being like, supporting her, saying how beautiful and amazing she is, as simping. Never in a million years. And as a side note, a lot of men who do this are down low. So a lot of men who don't like women, who are very abusive, who emotionally abuse women, who see that, they don't even want to be nice to women, or they're emotionally very avoidant, they can only have an emotional connection to other men, are actually gay. So just as a side note. And again, divine masculine see this and they call it out. I've seen men call this out before as well. It's not just women who know this. Like, it's actually insane. A lot of gay men actually say this too. It's like, why all these supposedly straight men saying that, oh, you shouldn't be loving or kind or romantic towards a woman? That's simping. It's like, well, go be with a man then. Literally go be with a man. To be an alpha male, to be a strong man, you got to just, ignore all women. You got to be abusive to women. You got to see them as just a burden or a distraction or this or that. It's
I want to say, Paula, the Wednesday Addams was adorable.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Marcel, you're right. You're right. I mean, see, the divine masculine is not going to manipulate and is not going to have to manipulate. He is going to physically attract his divine feminine.
We are energy beings.
We gotta raise our vibration, and to be in that divine feminine masculine, right? You're gonna attract. You're gonna be like, a magnet.
You're gonna have to kick them off of you.
Kick it off. My dad, oh my God, my dad. Well, he was a Scorpio too, right? My dad. and he could dance. Well, he had gypsy in him.
I
He
love a
could
man who
dance.
could dance.
Oh my gosh, that is like, yeah. He taught me how to dance. So it was really awesome seeing him, going to the bar or the dance hall and watching my dad dance with these women. And they were just all just over him. And they all knew that, he wasn't going to take any of them home. They were just happy to be in his presence. They just wanted to dance with him.
Exactly. And I've had friends like that when I was younger.
Yeah,
I had
Jesus.
friends. But guys that really like to dance and that are comfortable in their own skin, it's not hard for them to get women. They don't have to manipulate. They don't have to feel insecure. But it also cuts down, when in the Hermetic tradition, everyone's always talking about all is mind, all is mind. But it's not really all is mind. All is body, mind, and soul. Dancing helps you release all that negative energy. And when men are fancy free, I mean, that might sound a little gay, but when they are fancy and they're being free and they don't care what anyone thinks about them, that's when they're the most attractive.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Women too.
Exactly.
As soon as your give a damn gets busted, you just become more sexy.
Right. It's
just
not about
happens
their
this way.
ego anymore. It's about radiating energy.
Yeah. We are sparks of light. I'm going. Oh shit.
Is that, it's insane. So every divine masculine sees that psyop within society very clearly. He sees as an absolute joke. He sees that is actually quite gay to be saying that all these men just want to, emotionally put other men on pedestals, that, oh, you can only be, kissing the ass of another man. Because a lot of these men, they kiss the ass of other men as well. So it's like they put other men on pedestals, but then they want women underneath their feet.
Oh my God, we've had this conversation so much.
Yes, because they do. That's how these cults are formed. Like all these men look up to one man and he has say-so of everything they do and think.
Yeah. So, yeah, they need to be a worship. I'm going to shut up.
Divine masculine will never in a million years admit that energy at all. They see how gay it is to be doing that. They see that it's a psyop to make you ironically more feminine, because you're literally worshipping only men. You're emotionally only connecting and wanting intimacy from other men, even if it's just, emotional. So most men who are incel or red pill, content type men are emotionally gay, or they're actually closet gays. And this is what
I like that, emotionally gay.
That is a good one. And Sean, I mean, a lot of men are scared of women and are scared of getting them knocked up. That's completely understandable. I was pregnant at an early age myself.
Hey, Marcel, it would be an honor to know that you can push forward this type of healing out into your community, because it's really needed. Help run a nightclub, and you see it. Oh my God, I bet you see it all. You see it all, Marcel. To the window, to the
wall with the magto. The Magto.
Yeah.
Do they like feet?
I'm going.
What divine masculine see and know, and they don't fall for it. This is what I mean with the other point. They're not impressionable to that. They see through it. They're understanding, that's not right. That's a bit weird. So they understand and have the maturity and the emotional intelligence that obviously the majority of women just want to be loved. So the last trait is he embodies warrior energy. Woo. So this is basically what the dark.
That's Big Kahuna in the chat right there. Big warrior energy. Dark masculine warrior energy. That's Big Kahuna.
masculine looks like. So much like what I say with dark feminine energy, men have dark masculine energy. And this doesn't mean that he's evil or oppressive or whatever, but he has this powerful warrior energy. So this looks like, you know, standing for truth, basically everything I've already covered, but he stands in it fearlessly. He's not a coward. He lives for his truth. He's disciplined, he's devoted, and he never plays victim. So he can acknowledge when he's being, you know, unfairly treated or betrayed or whatever. He takes action on it, but he doesn't play.
Marcel, honey, you're dealing with priestesses over here on my side of the hood. She's a priestess.
And no, I don't have a foot thing.
No, she don't. But yeah, I mean,
No, I'm
Cheryl,
joking about the feet fetishes because it's all over the place.
yeah, yeah,
The MGTOW, the MGTOE. It's not my feet I'm worried about.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, I was a 3rd degree high priestess before I was ever a mother. And Sean, I waited till I was 30 before I become a mama. Hell yeah, I got my banging, tanging, and swinging out the way.
The victim. He doesn't stay in that immature boy energy. So divine masculines, they have very high emotional intelligence. And this is what it means to be like that warrior, because he's connected to his heart, but he's also assertive and strong. You need to have both, you know, because with liberal, you know, woke, fake new age spirituality, they feminize men too much.
Mm-hmm.
They make them too passive, which ultimately can make
Put 'em
them
in
too
dresses and put a
selfish.
wig on 'em.
And then they're not protective. They don't create safety. It's so important that men, you know, awaken, are in tune with their masculinity, their strength, that primal energy, but also with their heart, also with their empathy and their softness. So they need to be, you know, they have to have that light masculine energy, you know, they're feminine, but they need to have that dark masculine energy as well in a healthy way. This is what makes them whole. This is what makes them their divine masculine. So the perfect man that I can use to explain this more easily for you to understand is, of course, Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. To be honest, a lot of the men in Lord of the Rings embody a very healthy masculine energy, but above all else, Aragorn embodies a very strong.
He looked like my baby daddy, just saying.
Divine masculine energy. Why? Because he literally is a warrior. He fights. He stands for what's right. He's able to lay his life on the line for what he knows he needs to do. He accepts responsibility. You know, eventually he takes the role of being a king. He's accountable. He has to be confident. But at the same time, he has a huge heart. He's loyal. He honors Arwen, you know, his divine feminine. He protects her. He has this very beautiful heart. He cries. He shows emotion. You know, he's in tune with both energies. Every divine masculine will embody this, you know, gentle warrior energy. He will be like a calm warrior in a garden. So he has both in balance. And this is what gets so confused and wrong with both conservatives and liberals, is they don't understand this. So with conservative men, they're way too far right. They're way too stuck in their toxic masculinity. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And of course, with the more woke liberals, you know, they're way too pulled into their toxic feminine energy, and they want to emasculate men completely, which again is so toxic and, you know, just so confused with all the other things that they do. So it's like, you know, such a confusion and a distortion, when really it's so much more simple than that. And this doesn't mean that, you know, outwardly men have to look a certain way to present themselves as a warrior energy. Or their dark masculine energy. Even gay men, even very feminine men who look feminine on the outside can be in that warrior energy. They can be in that dark masculine energy. And they're divine masculine. So again, it's like you don't even have to look manly, and you can still exude this powerful energy. You can have a very masculine aura. And even with, you know, like more mundane things, this looks like a man who doesn't give up easily. He's very driven, very assertive. You know, he won't ever weaponize incompetence. So it doesn't mean that he never rests. Of course.
I love that. He will never weaponize incompetence. I love that. Because when you weaponize
I like her.
incompetence, You're a fucking bully. You're a fucking bully.
Yes, and Marcel, she does touch on both traits, the toxic traits of the masculine and feminine, because we are both we are all masculine and feminine within. It's the duality of gender, and we have to balance that masculine and feminine within before we can really ever think to do it on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we're not even fucking taught about it. You know, unless you are, you know, blessed to have been raised in a family or in an area and a culture where you are taught about it.
Right. Not many people know about their masculine and feminine. And a lot of men think that you tell them they have the feminine aspect, their anima, and they get offended. They get like, oh, I'm not a girl. And that's not what it means at all. It means that the feminine aspect of your man side, your anima, is your receptivity. It's how you view women that comes from your mother and how you were raised. And if you can't view women as their own person and not the archetype that you see in yourself, like that you see within yourself, like the feminine that you project out onto the world that all women are, or you see every woman or a woman as a human, and you get to know that woman on a level to humanize her.
Or you project onto her what it is
Or
you need.
exactly. And if you don't do that shadow work she's talking about, that's what most men, not most, a lot of men do that though. They're not willing to open up. They're not willing to be vulnerable. They're not willing to tap into their emotions, their traumas from high school, from their childhood, because it scares them, because it hurts them emotionally. And they were taught not to do that. Not that we want men crying everywhere. No, not at all.
All right. Well, see, and if you do end up projecting upon your partner, as soon as they don't meet those standards, right, of that archetypal need, or
Yes.
that need of that mothering need, or that aspect that was neglected as a child, as soon as she does not meet those expectations, bam, your heart's broken, you're angry, and now she is not who you thought she was. So we have a false
Exactly.
brings on false perception. So
Yep.
we've got like 2-3 minutes left of this, and then we're gonna send the link out.
He understands the importance of resting, recharging. But again, he has a very balanced energy. You know, to be a warrior, you have to be balanced. It's so important. So this is what the traits of the divine masculine truly look like. I hope this video helps you. If you are a woman wanting to attract more of a divine masculine energy, then it's so important that you assert the boundaries within yourself. So go check out my new Dark Feminine ebook. That helps you assert boundaries, that gets you more in that dark feminine energy. So you're far more likely to find a man that mirrors that with you, and also to banish and get rid of any sort of past lover, toxic soul ties with toxic masculines and that sort of thing as well.
We should definitely, all right, stop sharing. Okay. We should definitely get that book and work through it. Absolutely. I think that would be really fun.
Oh, it might terrify and traumatize some people.
I don't care. All right. So here's the link. I'm going to go on mute. Guys, if you all want to come up and share your thoughts, feelings, and, you know, as long as you keep it, try to keep it PC. It's not going to let me share the link.
Is it not already in the...
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The 4 agreements. Well, Paula, can you get your link up here? Because I know that you were wanting to get up here. I need to run to the restroom real quick. Cheryl, you can let anybody up here.
How do I do that? Oh, they come in as guests and I just hit or whatever. I've never done that before. So
yeah, you just hit add to stage.
Okay, add to stage. All right.
Yeah, and then if nobody comes up, then you're gonna have to talk for a minute. I gotta go use the restroom.
Okay. Well, does anyone want to come up? Or you guys got questions that you want me to answer? I'm having a hard time seeing, so you need a couple of I've got my screen here where the comments, I can't see the bottom comment, so I have to have a couple to see that bottom one. So I don't see anyone trying to get up on stage. Okay. Yeah, come up and talk to us. I mean, like I pretty much spent my 20s in a gay bar dancing. Watching Miss Gay America, on stage at the showroom, you know what I mean? So like dancing for me, a lot of men will see dancing as a feminine aspect, but it's really more of a freeing aspect, Let's add Lone Wolf to stage. Are you on? Lone Wolf?
Yes, hi. I'm here.
Hello,
Can
hello.
you hear me? Oh, can you
Yes,
hear
we
me?
can. We
Okay.
can. Do you have it?
It stinks. So weird. There was another anyway,
Did you freeze?
I'm glad I'm here now. So
Okay. What do
Jevin
you want to talk
took a
about?
step away.
What was that? It is liberating, Marcel. I love to dance. That's my bliss, man. Like, I don't care what people think. I will dance to the own beat of my own drum. It is freeing, definitely. And a lot of men don't, see it that way. They don't see it as energy movement because it really releases the body. It really gets all that negative energy. It moves all the cortisol in your lymphatic system, all of it. Hello, Lone Wolf.
Hey, Paula. Paula, did you freeze?
I
Oh,
think
no.
she did. Or something. I'm 48, so I'd still dance.
See, and that's what keeps you from enjoying it and being liberated by it. Right there, Marcel. Exactly.
Yep. He was on stage.
There's the Grand Hawaiian. Hello, Hawaiian man.
Oh, hello, hello.
Aloha.
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 Big kahuna.
Yeah.
How many kids you got with your goddess wife?
My wife, I got 6.
You
Born
got
as a
six.
son.
Wow.
You got 6
You got nice
babies.
hair.
Isn't
Yeah,
he
thank you.
beautiful?
Yeah, this is my natural hair.
He's fucking beautiful. He's the
That's
kahuna
crazy. 6 kids, man. Woo.
Yeah,
Woohoo,
5
I know, right?
girls. So
Oh, damn.
what I was saying about masculinity and femininity, I kind
Good
of adjusted
God.
myself to that because, in order to understand my girls and my wife more than I need to, because as a man, I only understand the man's world. But then when I broke down and accepted my masculinity and my femininity, I began feeling and thinking like, okay, I need to talk to them in a certain way, more
Yes.
nice,
Yes.
and treat them more equal, because if not, I'm going to lose them.
Yes, and you lose them at an early age. And girls need their fathers to show them how men are supposed to treat them.
Mm-hmm. That's why I made a long time ago, when I was growing up as a teenager in Hawaii, that I do not accept or condone any man that hits or abuses a woman. I don't condone it at all.
There's Paula. Hopefully we'll get it to work. Hey, Paula. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful, Sean. It is.
I mean, it's just because how we grew up on the islands, where we learn as young to respect the elders, and as a man, you respect the women. If not, your mama.
And I know a lot of men like that. My grandfather was like that. My grandfather raised 4 granddaughters. He had 6 women in the house, okay, growing up. And my grandfather, if you mess with any of his girls, he'll bring that shotgun out.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And Paula has been very, very passionate about talking about the divine masculine. And you're on mute, Paula. I don't know if you know you're on mute, but there you are.
Yeah.
Hi.
Trying to plug in my phone. Hi.
Okay.
Hi. And it's
Hello.
nice to see you, Sean.
Thank you.
It is
I wanted
beautiful.
to, yeah, beautiful. I
Thank
wanted
you.
to appreciate that because all indigenous cultures here in the First Nations, they still have a matriarchal system. And there was respect for the feminine. So I'm sure it's like all the way across the indigenous cultures in the world, I believe. But it's nice to hear that you said that you still had that.
Yeah, well,
I
I
think that's
grew up
very
with that. I grew up on a cowboy ranch, so I learned that severely. Let's put it that way.
In the States, I mean, I ask in the States,
No,
the
I'm here in
ranch
Hawaii.
in Hawaii.
I have a
Oh, yeah.
question.
Yes.
Did you feel like you had some kind of initiation to make you that warrior man at a certain age with your Hawaiian heritage?
Not really, because it's like the old days where my dad used to make us earn our ways, and not have them handed to you. And he told us in the early days where you have to work hard in order to get forward in life. You know, nowadays, Generation Z, they expect everything to be handed to them. It's so freely in access. They don't want to work for it anymore.
No, they don't. But do Hawaiian men treat women soft?
Yes, they do.
Like where like they see that our bodies are not like a man's body, where like
Yes.
men have bigger arms and they can work harder and
Yes.
longer. Women need more sleep.
Yes. They treat the Hawaiian men actually treat their women like queens. They'll let them walk in the house first. You know, and they'll open up the doors for their women. I don't see you see that in society, you know.
I think that a big issue is we're missing these rites of passages and these traditions that held, I mean, it held tribes together for so long, y'all. We've got to bring some type of awareness to how we need to have these markings of time. That is so important, you know.
Right.
Oh, I totally
And the
agree.
Hawaiian men, they have their own ceremonial dance they do, which is tapping into their feminine.
Yes.
Hula.
Hula.
I love that. Hula. Oh,
yes.
Maybe it's New Zealand that's hookah.
The haka.
New Zealand. Haka.
Haka,
Okay,
yeah.
right.
Yes.
That is
And thank you.
to watch. Oh my
It's so sexy.
That's why I've always said the Maori are the more scariest Polynesians in the world, in all of Polynesia. The second
They're
is the
scary.
Samoans.
The
Third
who?
is the Tonkians.
Say, first is the New Zealand and the Maori. Second is who?
The Samoans.
Someone. Oh yes.
Yes.
And I really appreciate you bringing that up, Jevon, because I got like a download a few years ago about we have to have tradition. I mean, the United Corporations of America took away our any rites of passage, any tradition, any tribal gathering to initiate. So that's what I'm saying about the First Nations people, even Mexico. They all, they still have that women's coming of age ceremony for the young girls.
Yeah, when they turn
well, here in the
16.
States,
Yeah.
in the
Filipinos have the
Western
same thing.
culture,
Yeah.
here in
Filipinos
the
have the
States,
same
in the
thing.
Western culture, they're trying to break up the nuclear family through the agenda of the feminist movement and the red pill movement. It's not just one or the other, it's both. And it's pitting men and women against each other. It's pitting men against men. It's pitting women against women. It is causing a divide, and it's been going on strong. And we're seeing the backlash to all of it right now with this red pill movement and the red pill content and how men are getting so riled up about women, and the same with women too, for sure. We've had enough of that as well. But we definitely need to bring a balance back between men and women, and these initiatives rights that we're talking about. It starts that early.
Yes. I think what
And
you
it
said,
also
Cheryl.
brings back the courtship. The courtship was a ritual.
Yeah,
It
we
is a
arranged
Yeah.
form
marriages.
of
Yeah,
ritual.
arranged marriages. We
No,
had
no. Fuck some arranged shit. No, I'm just talking about the courtship. Ain't no motherfucker telling me, and I
The
ain't telling
ritual
nobody
of the courtship,
Oh,
like
okay. The
coming to the
ritual.
door, opening the door,
Coming to the
respecting
door,
her,
meet the
dressing up.
parents.
Well, that
Yes.
too, dressing up to show you, when a man comes and takes you out on a date, back in my day when I was young, when a man comes and takes you out on a date, you get dressed up, he gets dressed up, and you go eat something nice,
It's a
You don't just go to
ritual, yeah.
McDonald's. It's definitely a ritual. And that's what
Yeah.
sets the tone to the relationship.
Yeah, that's when you find out, is there something here or not, right? Is there something here? Is this something worth building another stepping stone towards the future with, right?
Right.
Whether
And men
it's
saw it as a prize. Men saw like getting the woman as a prize, not so much that we're the prize, that we think we're the prize, but to them that was like, that's like the epitome of being a man. It was to be able to like prove themselves.
yeah,
Yes.
because
Well,
they
just
by nature are competitive.
Well, these other things too is us men, and I can tell you for a fact, we are afraid of you women.
I know that.
Because look at the election. Look at the election. If Kamala Harris would have won, we wouldn't be living in this bullshit.
Well, I think that no matter who would have won, we're still going to go through this bullshit because it's part of the times
But
we're going
what I'm
through.
saying is that
Yes.
a woman-run presidency, all the man has screwed up all this time, and there's never been one presidency. And then I think she could make a difference. Or any woman being up as a president can make a difference.
Here's the thing, throughout time and space of philosophy is they know, the great thinkers of the world knows that great pressure makes the hardest diamonds, right? The most perfect, pristine diamonds. So I think that a lot of this shit is socially engineered to apply pressure to get us out of this funk defunk that, society seemed to get into. Right.
Well,
like
we wanted change. We got change. No matter if
Right.
we like it or not, we got some kind of change going on.
We do.
And the
if it
change.
goes-
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Paul, go ahead.
I was saying the change started on the wrong path, too far left, or what do you want to call it, with the women's movement, because they come out of anger. That's where Sean, you said, don't open my door for me, I can do it myself. So it totally went the left side. And now, we women who know this love a man to open the door for us. A man walks along the outside of the sidewalk because he is stronger than the woman. And what you said about the dating thing, yes, the man came to the home, asked the father, is it okay if I'm okay, so acceptable to take the woman, your daughter out? And then you think about Tinder. It's like from one extreme to the other. So it's about remembering our divinity, who we are.
I totally understand that, because before I got married, I asked my father for his permission and his blessing for me to get married to my wife.
And that's commendable.
Yeah, so I can totally understand
here over
it's
where in the states here. I don't know you're in Hawaii, but in like the mainland here, like the continent of America or whatever. A lot of men don't even respect their fathers like that because the fathers are not in the home.
Oh, they really destroyed the black community.
As kids here, we're still told to honor and respect our elders, despite what broken family or mutual family you have, or whatever
And that's
personal
good.
problems you have.
And that's beautiful, because that's what's missing in our world is the respect of anybody, not just our elders, but everyone. Like, I
Right.
respect people until they show me a reason not to respect them. But I'm different.
Yeah. I can totally understand it because here in Hawaii, we have an old saying: problems are temporary, but life is forever. Until you
Yes.
go back to the ground.
Very passing.
And you
That's
are where you are.
yeah, you just like when I was in my 20s and 30s, I burnt bridges. I gave no fucks, right? I didn't give a shit. I was running on all ego. And
Mhm.
and then, but I taught my daughter like that was wrong with me to burn certain bridges. Some had to be burned, some really shouldn't have been burned, but they got burned. And I'm like, you don't burn them. You just give people space. Give people space, time, whatever. Do not just burn shit down. Don't
Yeah.
be the burner of things.
Yeah.
Unless you really need to burn that shit, I'll burn it right there, standing there.
Then you burn it with righteousness, okay?
No, and then
Holy
the other
righteousness.
thing, Marcel Lamagos, I want you to remember that even though you haven't seen your dad or mom in almost over 30 years, put yourself first at peace before you make that connection again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, I come from a broken family, and I saw my dad growing up. Do I respect my dad now? No, I probably would have had a better life if my father would have stayed out of my life.
yeah, and at least there's the mutual respect for each other there. But then
That's so powerful what you said, Sean, because we have to have that peace.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, you have to have that peace. Yeah. You don't. Forgiveness doesn't mean accepting them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, we broke.
Forgiveness is definitely
Forgiveness doesn't mean. Yeah,
Forgiveness
and it doesn't mean that we have to accept.
Life goes on.
It puts
so
you
what?
back
You guys
in
gonna
that.
get along. You guys can put personal problems on the side and still respect each other from far.
Well, it puts you in line with the divine when you forgive.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you allow them to do like bad things and harmful things. It just means that you have released that. You worked through it.
And if they tend to be cruel to you, let them be cruel. As long as you don't take yourself to that level, because you don't have to anymore.
My mother just had congestive heart failure, and I've been helping take care of her after she wouldn't speak to me for 5 years. For 5 years, because the ex-boyfriend contacted her and wanted to talk to her, and she didn't like him ever. And she's a really stubborn boomer Leo with quite a bit of narcissism herself. So she was like, "Rah!" So for 5 years she wouldn't talk to me. But she had congestive heart failure, and I was like, I have to work on the mother wounds and spirit, and I'm being guided to really talk about the mother wounds and to get everybody else to talk about their own mother wounds, because that's the core root of most of our trauma. It's our mother wounds.
Yes.
Yep.
And when
Right.
you heal
And
your
I'm
mother
going through that right now with my daughter. My daughter's going through her mother wounds. I have to go through my mother wounds, not just my father wounds, because it's not just about the mother. And we can't pretend that it is just about the mother.
Well, the whole thing is everybody's searching for love. That's all everybody wants. And you know what? That's all we can do is love on each other. And it starts from us first.
It exactly. It starts from us first. That's why I suggested the book, The 4 Agreements. It's a little tiny book, and that the host that you had, she said that about being impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
Well, it starts. It's a process, and so the 4 Agreements. Right here it is. It's a little book. They have one that has a little bit.
I have that book.
Okay. And when you do this work, so that's what I thought you meant, Jevin, do the work, but because going through those stages, when you learn not to take stuff personally, which is the hardest thing, it opens your soul up to really realize what is them and what is us, and you take ownership for your everything, and you stop blaming. You stop blaming, and you realize that it's personal, because everything else that people do to you, that's on them. And
Right.
and when we're healthy and when we have self-love, we don't take that, and so that's the second principle in this thing, is don't take anything personally. And that's hard. That's one of the hardest steps of any of us to do,
It
and
is.
everyone just don't make assumptions.
Yeah, like I can
Yeah.
talk about I can listen to men, and I have a lot. I can listen to men talk about issues about women in general, right? Not one particular one, but in general. I do not accept that as me. He is not speaking and talking about me, right? However, a totally different man can hear me talk about some shit I got with men in general, not him,
Mhm.
but in general, and he takes it as a personal attack and launches at me,
Oh,
right?
Mhm.
It happens to
You're
me
not
most every
healthy.
day on land.
yeah, that's a lot of men's problem. That we take stuff too deep into person, and we don't know how to let it go. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's why I said this was divine. I had a thing happen to me today. That's why I said it was divine, and I was watching Sarah on being divine. But what happened to me today was a guy helped me fix my computer, and I haven't had any. Anyway, it's a long story. But he made kind of. I took a flashlight in there just to see if he was plugging it in, and well, something happened the other day about it. But he got like snippy. It's like I can see, and he had said something else, and I'm just like, okay. And knowing that there's something going on, I just said, okay, well, there's no you can just tell me that. And
She froze.
Yeah. She
and the man feels inferior, or it's got to put you in your place, or you're the well. Wait till I tell you what I said. You'd have to. They have to assert that power. This will blow you away. So when he was done, and he's like, I said, I just wanted to make sure that did I do something that made you feel like basically you need to treat me that way? And he said, oh, I don't know, Jim. He he said, well, he said, you can be too helpful sometimes. But I'm like, what? So first of all, he's blaming me for just trying to help make him be able to see better. And he is judging that, whatever actions I was taking was inappropriate or stepping on his ground, even though it was helping. And I'm telling you, it made me feel really bad. I had to go through a lot of, part of
Well,
me, and to
a lot of
remember.
men don't. A lot of men can still see or feel that as demasculating, not because that's what you're doing, because
Yeah.
that's what they might be having their own emotional issues and that inside themselves.
Yeah. It's like a man with
Yeah, obviously it was inside of him, and but for a light, for me getting a flashlight, that was his. It was a little round lantern thing, and he's like, still was going to put me down because I got him it's daylight, you can see, and then in the corner you really couldn't. I mean, there should be no problem for me just getting a excuse me,
Well, what
light.
she said, did you hear what
Because
Jade said about men who get offended or attack you if you show them love, right? If you show them help, that is a form of love.
oh
And
yeah, I
if
did hear
they're
that.
not, Yeah,
Mhm.
and if they're not
Oh
in their
yeah,
masculine, they're gonna get upset. It's gonna trigger them. So that's something to look for. Okay. And to just kind of be conscious of it and not let it
yeah.
bother you, right? You can say, okay,
You're
he is not in his divine masculine. I'm not gonna take this personal, you know?
right.
Yeah.
I didn't, even though I could tell you the emotions and the feeling I had. You know, it was pretty bad. Brought back a
Yeah.
lot of past, and that's
Right.
why the shadow work is so important.
Yeah. And what he did was he triggered
And you're
unhealed
right, Jevin. I will always.
Yeah, and he triggered unhealed trauma in you.
Yeah,
So you two mirrored each other, and at that moment,
yeah.
you had a divine dance
I
of
was.
fucking hell.
I did good though. I did good. You know, like I say. I mean, I felt the horrible emotions and the pain and everything. Because like I didn't do anything wrong, but like you said, even she said, even showing him love. And it could go
Well,
through a whole bunch of things in his mind. Well, doesn't she think I can see? Da 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 da.
well, it
So
doesn't
I
even matter.
realized that was his unhealed. Yeah.
It's definitely unhealed
Well,
trauma. But you obviously took it personal. Just from my perspective, you took it personal. And that's part of that 4 agreements to take it, not take
That's what
things
I'm saying.
personal. And so you took it personal.
Right.
And
Like I'm telling you, I did it
so
first.
my thing
Yeah.
is what I do is I've come to the conclusion that if I'm better off being who I am and saying how I feel when I feel it. And if it starts an argument, because it is self-righteous, you know, it is not
Yes.
self-righteous, but
Yes.
it's wholly right. Like my
Yes.
emotions are important to
Yeah.
me and my mental health. If I can't speak my mind when I need to speak my
Right.
mind to someone that's supposed to be in my life and care for me, then they don't need to be in my life. Because my truth,
Yeah,
as far as who I am as a
exactly.
person, is not going to be undermined by their emotions anymore. Because I can deal with my emotions, I can deal with their emotions. But if they're not
Exactly.
prepared to deal with their own emotions, then I don't know what to tell them.
I understand that.
And most people aren't. They're not.
I totally understand that, Alchemy.
That's hard.
Because what it is like my wife
Yes.
has her opinion, I have my opinion, so we just stay open minded to each other because we can't agree on how a woman sees things and a man sees things. It's totally different.
Well, I like what you said earlier when you first started talking, Hawaiian. When you said that before I had my daughters, I couldn't see the perspective of a woman. I think like a man. And I think nowadays, my point being, nowadays there's women who are talking about what a man needs to be, and then there's men who are talking about what a woman needs to be.
Yeah.
And I don't think either one of them can really say because they're not a man or a woman.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Physically, I can't stop. Like, I know what she's going through because she is a woman, and women go through things that men can't. And so, I can understand what she's going through, but that's it. I can't,
Right, you can understand, but you can't feel it. And that's where a lot of guys,
exactly.
a lot of the roadblock, they can't feel it, so they have no empathy for it.
Well, I have empathy for her, but just that.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying a lot of guys are like that. You love your wife, obviously. You came out talking about your wife. There's men out there who have been married for years and no one knows they're married.
Yeah, because me and you are same age. I'm 48 too. And so I'm at the age where I have to be on the same level as my wife, because if not, it's going to go lopsided and not be equal.
Right, Marcel. I really do appreciate it because you're correct. It's not equal. And when we talk about equality, when women talk about equality, they don't mean right punches to left punches. Like I've been hearing that on the red pill community. Well, women want equality. Well, here's your equal punch. Like they're treating us like we're supposed to be men because we want equality. And we're not talking about equality in physical fitness and strength. We're talking about equality in life and in love and in our hearts and minds.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Marcel, that's that chump's way of not having to be accountable for any of his own fucking shit.
Right. And okay,
Just
so
blame the victim.
men, I'm not, sorry, I'm not trying to generalize all men. That just automatically comes out of my mouth. It's not the truth. A lot of men who have not done shadow work will make women and anything that is feminine nature or any kind of not toxic masculinity think that they're not supposed to have emotions because that's what they were taught. I watched a video the other day of a woman giving labor and her baby mama or her baby daddy was right there telling her to stop crying. It can't hurt that bad. Stop being a baby. This woman was in labor.
Okay, the pain equivalent of 50-something bones breaking at the exact same time. The woman goes into the thresholds of death in order to bring that spirit into this world. I would have knocked that motherfucker out, just saying.
Well, she was in the floor. She wasn't even on the hospital bed. She was in the floor going, eh, and he's like standing above her like a dad would stand above a kid that he was about to beat.
Like a bastard.
I mean, all we have to do is talk about the period cramp simulation videos that men cannot handle, and they need to really realize that there's no way of knowing what it's like unless we get that ghetto blaster gun from the Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy, where we can shoot these dudes and they will know what it feels like to have a baby or have a period cramp.
Yeah, where are men going to give birth through?
Or just to have a, have a raw
Having a day.
bone shaking emotion.
Okay, I guess my internet cut out a second because I didn't hear that, but that's okay. We can continue.
So what I said is, yeah, imagine a man giving birth, what hole you would go through.
Oh my God, they wouldn't make it. They can't even make it having a cold.
Exactly.
Well, I
So
mean,
much
it's
pain.
bad enough. The kidney stones, right? Kidney
If I
stones
ever
are
got
pretty
pregnant and
painful.
I had to give birth,
Oh.
I would tell the doctor, drug me up.
Well, let's talk about men and their health, their physical health, not just mental and emotional.
You
A
talk
lot
about
of guys will
obesity,
not
yeah?
go to the doctor.
Obesity.
Well, that too, but just
Yeah.
they don't want to go get checked up, and so they let things linger too
I
long
do.
and die.
I do normally. In fact, I just dropped my my high blood pressure, so at 48 I have to,
Right. I mean, we
Good.
all start
There
taking
is a
better care
trauma
of
that have
ourselves.
been
Yeah,
that
you got
stop.
because I only tell my kids
Uh,
as well as my wife.
Right. That's because you love your family and you want to be there for them in the long run.
Yeah,
Like getting older, we have to take care of ourselves or we can't be a full cup to pour into people.
that's why I said we're both the same age and we're on both the same pattern. Once we're past 45, game's over. You can't be partying no more.
Well, right. And Marcel, and you're not the only guy that's like that. I know a lot of guys who'll be like bleeding out, almost dying, and they're like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital.
No, Marcel, we're not embracing our divine masculine by getting the family first and then taking care of ourselves. No. Divine
You take care
masculine.
of yourself first.
Yeah.
take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
First, yep.
Yeah,
Love
because
yourself.
tomorrow's never promised.
You have to take care of yourself first.
If you don't take care of yourself first, that just proves that you don't love yourself.
Yeah, love
Like-
yourself,
Not only
Marcel.
that, if you don't take care of yourself, who's going to?
Right.
Not one
If you're
damn
about
person,
all alone.
Marcel. Not one damn person, Marcel. Not one person's taking care of me. I gotta do it on my own. Right?
And a lot of men want a woman to take care of them that way, So like women get
That's the biggest
like
problem.
torn down constantly and can't even take care of themselves because they're taking care of a man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
No.
biggest problem. What you just
Yeah,
said.
we're not persons or nurses.
Listen, Marcel,
got-
get you a marker. Get you a marker, and I want you to write all the things that are admirable and good about you on your skin. I want you to write, I love you. I love you. I
Well,
want you
here's
to write on yourself and
here's
write
another thing
big
too.
hearts too.
Here's another
Draw
thing
big
too.
hearts.
Is you should take a list on all the negativity you have in your life, right? As of right now, and have you a fire and throw all that negativity away.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to be better.
Write
unless
it
you
down on pieces of
Do
paper.
some magic. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. Write it down on a piece of paper and burn it.
And keep fucking writing it and keep
Yeah, put it
fucking
together.
burning it.
It's a day by day.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
You know, you do it.
Uh-oh, you cut
You're
out.
not- You have to work on yourself each and every day because you matter.
You do, Marcel. If you
Mental
did
health, the man's mental health. Let's go there. A lot of men don't take care of their mental health. What was that?
Men are too soft.
The men are too soft on the inside, not so much the outside, but men
No,
are soft
in
on the
head.
inside.
They're too soft because they don't want to share what goes on in their head. That's
You're
what it is.
right. You're right. They do not. They do not. And they're scared of women for that reason. They're scared of women demasculating. And
They
they're
can't
scared.
be
They're scared to
honest.
say, I'm vulnerable. I need help.
Men can't be honest for some reason.
But they've been taught you don't. Men from the old school have been taught. Excuse me. You got to be tough up, tough up. Don't be a
It's
sissy.
escapism, Marcel. We can't do escapism, Marcel. We have to hold each other accountable, Marcel.
Marcel, that sounds
Well,
like you're codependent. That's a codependent attitude right there. You mask your mental health by helping everyone else's. You're making yourself a martyr, and then you get mad at people because you can't save them, and they don't want you to save them, and then you go downhill. That's
The other
codependency.
thing too is you don't want to help too much people because in the long run you're going to get burned.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You will.
Especially
Your
those
emotions
You have to
should not.
learn to say
Your
no.
emotions. You should not lay your emotions on anyone else, Marcel. And being codependent is not a bad thing. But what we need to be is independent, where we're dependent on ourselves, and we can depend on that person too. Whoever you're in a relationship with,
Internet's cutting out, or is it mine?
it's yours.
Your internet was cutting out, or is it mine?
Your mic's cutting out. Your mic is
sorry.
popping.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
You know, it's okay if you have to be a loner, stay home and focus on yourself. It's good. It's actually better for you mentally.
Unless you do it for 6 years like me, then you can feel that isolation set in and get lonely and do stupid things because you're lonely.
But
And
then-
listen, this is when
what I'm saying is, if you don't have to surround yourself with negativity or people who don't care about you. You know, fix yourself first, and then go out and seek the people who can fit in your inner circle.
Yeah, cultivate great friendships, good friendships, right? I mean, sometimes a really good friendship with the opposite sex is far more rewarding than a romantic one.
Yes.
Yeah. You should feel self-worth because that's how much you matter. Anybody tells you otherwise, screw them. You don't need them.
You know what you would do good with, Marcel, is to go dancing. Go dancing. Shake your fucking ass. I don't care if you're 40. I don't care where you are. Just as long as you're having fun, you're doing what you love. You're not worried about past relationships. You're not worried about your mom, your dad. If you got a relationship, all you're worried about is feeling that music. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. That is the best self-care I could possibly give you as a dancer.
Live your life for you.
Yeah, you got to find your purpose, man. Purpose over pleasure.
Live your life and dance.
Mhm.
Dance
Your
like nobody's
destiny.
watching.
Your destiny in this life on the earth.
That's amazing. I've been dancing a lot too and going outside and doing yoga in the sunlight.
He has. I'll be calling her and be like, "What you doing?" And she'd be laughing at the bumblebees and smelling the freaking honeysuckle.
Yep, and painting and getting in the creative flow of what brings me ultimate joy, and remembering who I am again. It is a great journey.
And Marcel, if you're not being accepted in the place where you're at, come to Hawaii. We accept all. Gays, lesbians, everybody.
I'm going to Hawaii. That's it.
Honk,
I'm
honk.
Right back.
I'm done here. I'm going.
Me too. Oh, me too.
If the volcano blows, it blows.
Well,
I'm
you know,
down.
I'm on a fault line, so whatever.
Yeah, are you over there on the Madrid?
Yes.
But
Mhm.
Jim, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go to remember my cousin's anniversary. He got murdered by cops.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I gotta go
Oh.
to that family thing.
All right. Thank you for
Thanks,
hanging
thanks
out.
for having me up. And,
Thank you. It was great talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great talking to you.
Mr.
Okay.
Crowley's
Can you hear me
right.
now?
What'd you say?
I said, can you hear me any better now?
A little bit, but yeah.
Never mind.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I don't know how many hugs we're supposed to have, or like other human contact we're supposed to have per day. But if we don't have that, oh, you know, it's really bad. And I think about people in the nursing home, because when my mom got out of the hospital, they put her in a nursing home for rehab purposes. And here's all these people in the nursing home. And it's just so sad. It's so sad. The type of care and the way we treat older people.
It
But
is
that's
sad.
totally
Kinda
different. It
scary.
is. And they never get touched. You know, they well, I won't say never, but they probably hardly ever get touched. Or they get, abused. So yeah, but people have to have that type of intimacy for our own health and healing.
It's healing. It's definitely healing to be touched, and not touched in a
Mhm.
sexual manner, just held.
Mhm. Exactly. Right. Well, I mean, there's people that are hug. I forgot the name of it, but you can pay somebody. Like there's agencies that will hold you and hug you.
Yes, I was talking about that. I told my neighbor I was gonna be a dominatrix, and she's like, "I would hug for a living."
I would totally hug for a living. I would be the
Oh,
best fucking
that's
hugger. Yeah, because I've got mama bear energy any fucking way. So yeah, I'm a great hugger.
Well, I probably need to be hugged.
I know I do. Sorry, I think it was my Bluetooth causing that.
Maybe. I'm sending you virtual hugs though.
Awesome. I'll
you.
send you some good Reiki energy.
The church I went to as a child, Salvation Army, we should go to the local nursing home all the time and play music for them and games. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't knock religion. I knock the organization of religion.
Yes, I do too. And the mind control,
Mm-hmm.
the whole
The
situation.
word religion means to
Yeah. To fucking control
regulate.
the populace. Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
a lot of people need religion. I mean, because without it, they would be lost. Not to say that they're still not lost, but they probably, like, you find those people who have that jailhouse religion. Like, they go to prison all crazy and they come out and they're saved. You know, some of it works and some of it doesn't, but it's still something that their heart can grab a hold to in this world.
Right. Right. And they have to be able, they need that They need that type of discipline of right and wrong for
When
what
some are leaders and some are followers.
So
It's the connection to something higher than yourself, which now we know we have a higher self. We can be our own higher power.
absolutely.
It's definitely a tool.
Yeah. What do you say?
Like I'm pagan and that's a broad spectrum of things, but I don't believe in the Abrahamic God. So, but I believe that people need something.
Exactly. They do. They need something, and a lot of, I mean, I've listened to a lot of philosophy banter about it. People do need something to hold on to. They do. And I have my hard lines like leave the fucking kids alone, leave the animals alone, try to preserve the planet, and don't overuse and don't abuse.
Right.
He wants to come on now.
You better come on up here, mister. Cause I'm about to pack another bowl.
I'm jelly.
I'm sorry. I'm about to pack a bowl.
Not your fault.
Cheryl, are you on the West Coast? Are you on the west
No,
side of
I'm
the
in
state?
South. I'm in the South.
Oh.
Here, I'll give you the link again. Marcy.
I want to add that.
Do more commentary of her work, especially like on the dark feminine too. It's
Oh,
really
the chick
good.
we just watched. Oh, it's good. I've watched it. It's good.
Yeah,
She
I
is
have
good.
too. She is good. She's fucking beautiful. She
She's
reminds
beautiful
me of
too.
me when I was 30 years old. Oh my god.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I don't have the
Yeah,
big boobs, but yeah, she's definitely beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. As old as I am, I want to have a picture of my youth sitting here so I can show you. You know.
Oh, I got a picture of me, 16 years old, right there.
Oh, okay. Okay, then I'm gonna start doing it because I can just tell people, yeah, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in this corner of the YouTube verse, I mean, we honor the crone. We love the crone. I mean, I'll be
It's a
50
rite of passage.
this year. I'm going towards the crone.
Uh-huh. And guess
And
what? That
what?
in the Native American way here, you can't become I hate that word shaman, whatever. I mean, it's real shaman, a medicine person until you're in your 60s. Because, like you say, crone, there's just a certain amount of, hopefully, if you were younger and sought wisdom, when you become older, it changes a lot. If you've done your shadow
Marcel,
work.
hang on a minute.
What?
Paula. Marcel, turn your camera on. Let me make sure it's you. I got haters and porn bombers. Okay, it's you. Okay, now you can turn it off. I'll get you back up there. Okay.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, hey. Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Marcel.
Hey. How are you guys?
We're good. That's Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
I'm keeping sane.
Hey.
It's a tattoo I have.
That is my daddy. The one flexing on the far right is my dad. He was a black belt in Ishanru, Kung Fu, and Taekwondo, and he worshipped fucking Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I also was a big fan of his. I had his book, the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. Him and Tesla were two. I have Tesla next to him on my leg. For sure.
Well, I'm fast like a dragon. He's a dragon. I'm fast like a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
my inner dragon. Mm-hmm.
I have a redheaded warrior girl with a sword slung over her shoulder on my left thigh. It's huge piece, full side. And then I have the Capricorn sea goat with like big flowers all over it on my right side. Fucking killed my sciatic nerve though. Fuck.
I bet. I did 13 hours in one sitting on my back, which is a portrait of Bob Marley.
No way. See,
Yeah.
he got halfway through the one on my thigh, and my vagina was so fucking wet. I had to go to the bathroom. I said, "I've got to go to the bathroom."
Damn Scorpio, seventh house.
Oh yeah.
It happens. I managed a tattoo shop for 5 years, so I've seen. I didn't do the tattoos, but I just managed the place. But I've definitely seen some flustered women. I'll word it that way.
Well, I had to go because it was getting bad. I have to go take care of the bathroom situation like right now.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Yeah.
Keep laughing at me. Are you?
I think it's cute. No, you know I love you.
Are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing at the imagery in my head of it.
Yeah.
At that point, you just say, "I got to go."
Yeah.
We're giggling all the way to the bathroom.
He said, "Yeah." He said, "I guess I could smoke a cigarette." I said, "I think you need to take at least a 10."
I gotta fly solo for a second.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Who was that lady you were watching earlier? The girl with the yellow shirt on. I think it was yellow.
Jade. That's Jade Chanu. And she's absolutely a priestess.
Oh yeah, no, she seemed really nice.
She is very, very bright, and she knows her stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'll go get the link of her channel. Yeah. And she's really, really helped me figure out, because I didn't know anything. I feel so dumb and naive. I didn't really know anything about this shit going on in the world right now between the masculine and the feminine. And I've just kind of had a massive crash course this past year. And telling me, this is what my craft mothers, 30 years ago said, do not date ceremonial magicians. Why? Because they know how to siphon energy off of you. They know you are the vessel of the divine.
It's not really dating them either. It's like a lot of people will do that, and not even on purpose.
Well, they were telling me this is they know what they're doing, and they know how to use it energetically in a circle.
Right.
I find a lot of people treat everything like an identity politics war. It's like the matriarchy must defeat the patriarchy.
Yes, that's exactly what's going on.
And really, that's not the answer. The answer is the balance of both of them. Like the Jedi aren't supposed to defeat the Sith in Star Wars. It's a balance of Jedi and Sith.
I'm gonna share that song. It's called "Clarity" by Zed.
Are the feminine the Sith?
What song?
I'm making a joke.
It's a really good. I'd play it, but I'd probably get a strike. I'm gonna put it in the private chat and in the regular chat. It is the symbolism of the divine masculine and feminine. It's that constant push pull, right? That's why I'm like, maybe we're not even supposed to be together. Maybe we're only meant to come together to make this sacredness, because absence makes the heart grow fonder. So it's just a constant push pull. I don't know. It's really weird.
It is
But
a constant
magical too.
It's a pendulum swing, right? The pendulum's always swinging. And the
Yeah.
object is to make the arc of that pendulum less and less, so it doesn't reach the extremes as much anymore, and it feels more balanced.
Right. Well,
Right.
see, it's changing because traditionally men are the hunters traditionally, right? They
Well, that's where gender roles started, I guess. If you want to say that, I mean,
Right.
you can't deny that men are just physically stronger than women. It's how they're built. Like,
Right. Men are physically stronger than women in the upper body, not so much in the lower body.
yeah. Right. And again, there are outliers. There are women who are stronger than men. I mean, but still, generalizations exist for a reason. There's truth in them,
Right.
It's just that generalizations are also bad. There's a way to use it and not be vapid about it, I guess is the word I'll use.
Well, this has been lovely.
This has been wild. It's been going for like 2.5 hours, and I can't believe, like, Marcel. Hey.
Hello. Yeah, I'll come.
Hang out. Tell us.
Huh?
Talk to us. What got you up?
Oh, sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
What got you up to come hang out with us?
I don't know. I just liked. I enjoyed Dr. Till's humor, so it was nice. It was nice to see you over there. So I figured I would come. And see what you were doing and how you're doing, because I've been wondering for sure. Despite the history of the situation.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here. It's been lovely.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
But plus, I just enjoy observing and listening to all sides of all things. Always in always. Like always, and then always, always.
Mm-hmm.
If you get what I'm saying.
Right. Well, it's good to be an open vessel like that, and just be flexible with that.
Of course, if you can't be flexible, you're just a bamboo stick waiting to crack in the wind, right?
Yeah, it's a mark of high intelligence when you can be uber flex.
Yeah.
It really.
Oh, you got switch hitters.
I
I was trained to be a switch. I mean, I aim to please too.
Oh, like a switch in the sub and dom sense?
Yeah. I'm joking. Yeah, well, see, the girl that trained me actually performed on stage a lot, and she became one of my craft mothers, and she performed at the Underground in our hometown. Yeah.
Okay. Performed like how?
Like beating motherfuckers' asses because they wanted it.
Oh,
well, okay, so like the switch hitter, in my sense, the meaning of the word or words I use, the switch hitter, like you can be dominant and you could be submissive.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Yeah, there's not really a scene like that here where I live. I live in a town of like 20,000 people. There's like everyone dresses the same, looks the same, acts the same. It's everyone's kind of.
Hey, I'm in a small little southern town, so I'm not doing any better.
Yeah, but I enjoy I enjoy that or not switch, but I enjoy listening to and understanding or just listening to the plethora of things people can like in that world. I find it interesting,
It's all subconscious.
Yes, yeah, or maybe some way of dealing with repressed memories or
what, and that's what I mean by subconscious. It's like they're working through their repressed trauma and memories and like all of it through their primal urge of sex. And that's the switch hitting part. You can be dominant or you could be submissive, but most submissives top from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The sub's really in control.
Yes, yeah. Well, well, of course. I mean, safe words exist for a reason, right?
Right.
You know,
But when we talk about it in the sense of the masculine and feminine, like we can both be masculine and we can both be feminine, you know?
yes, 100%.
And masculine and feminine, those words have gotten so switched up and mixed up. No one really even knows what it means anymore.
Well, people also equate the words with just male and female. But they're
Yes,
not-
but I'm talking about energy. But yes, you're right.
Yeah, right? People equate the words to male and female. They think feminine means female, but it doesn't mean female. Like it means feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's a difference there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I've been talking about this stuff for fucking almost 20 years. I've been this way since I was like 10. I was bullied and beat up a lot every day as a kid, and instead of getting angry, my first instinct was I just wanted to understand why they were that way. I just wanted to understand their minds and why they were bullied in the first place. I wanted to.
What zodiac sign are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
That's why you're really open-minded and you want to understand humanity.
Yeah, but I was also born 4 months premature. I spent more time in an incubator than I did in my mother.
Bless your heart, baby.
And I was 1 pound when I was born. I had no lungs. My skin was still see-through. All kinds of shit like that. I'm a miracle child for sure. I don't really like to brag.
You made it here. Here you are.
Yeah. You know, I know I'm a fucking warrior through and through. I know it, right? But it brings it's hard to turn my brain off sometimes, you know.
I think that's a lot right now. A lot of people. My daughter said that yesterday. I can't turn my brain off. I feel like that too.
It's very.
Oh, that's
difficult.
terrible.
You know, I never understood people even thought the way I did until I found Jung, like Carl Jung, in my 20s. Like I didn't even understand I liked psychology or anything like that until I found Jung, and then finding Jung was like finding myself. I was like, holy fuck, this guy. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear. This guy thinks like
you can swear.
I live on an island full of
I thought you said we couldn't swear.
All we do is swear.
I've been swearing. I didn't even know any different.
Good. Yeah.
I thought you said to keep it PG, Jevin.
Oh,
well, I might have said PG, like as far as like let's not be all nasty and shitty. Yeah.
She doesn't want to get like she doesn't want to get her video taken down. We can't say certain things.
Right.
Right.
No, I loved your interview with Michael Sarian, by the way. Sure. It was amazing.
Oh, thank you. I was so nervous.
Yeah, I kind of got all bitchy in the comments. That was me, by the way.
Oh, which one was you? Did he hurt your feelings?
No, I was just talking about. It doesn't matter, but.
Okay. I might know who you are. Well, you've got to understand who I am. I'm the type of person who will say it like I see it, whether it's right or not. I will say it like I see it, and that can get me into trouble. And I'm a fire sign. And I'm all about the truth, not just me speaking my truth or what I believe, but also what I see in the world. You know what I mean? I was sticking up for her up above me here or beside me here. I was sticking up for her. So
of course, and I took it's neither here nor there. It's water under the bridge, but I love that interview, man. I've been following Michael Sarian for almost 20 years.
Me too. And and I have bugged Michael for 10 years, and that's how I got that interview.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You did good, Cheryl. You did good.
Yeah. No, you did do great. Your questions on music and your understanding of music were really good. I learned how to play music before I learned how to speak. Right. I would rather play music than ever speak again. To be honest with you,
I'm the
I
same way.
had an intuition that you were a genius. Are you a genius?
me.
Marcel? Yeah,
I,
are you?
I don't like to say I'm smart. I just know how to listen.
Well,
Right.
that's
Well,
one of the best qualities you can have because no
yeah.
one listens anymore.
No, and I'm
It's
picking up
to listen to
feedback.
be understood.
Right.
We
Most
need to
people-
listen to be we.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We need to listen to understand rather than being understood.
Well, there's that, yes, but most people don't actually listen. They're thinking about their response while they're listening, which isn't listening.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what.
You're
Yeah,
thinking
exactly.
about what you're saying while you're listening. If you're
Self-centered.
wondering your response while you're listening, you're not truly listening. You're right. You're listening to
Correct.
respond and not listening to listen. Right.
Yes.
Right. That's
And
why the saying is you listen to understand rather than to be understood. Because if you're listening to understand, you're hearing the other person. You're not waiting for you to put your 2 cents in.
Yeah,
You're absorbing.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. That's a good way.
But
I'm gonna
also, when it comes to music and listening to, like, say, someone like Michael Tsarian, like, a lot of people don't even listen to him. You know, they like the information he comes up with, but they don't really listen. Because if they listen, they would understand why he's saying it, you know, and not just take it for like headline news, like you're just reading headlines, you know what I mean? And it hits an emotion, and then you have a response. Like when he talks about his female psychology, it's not always about the bad side of the female, you know. It can be about the good side, but when we're talking about the psychology part of it, everyone needs to take a look at their psychology. You know what I'm saying? And listening, like when you're good at music, you're not just listening to understand, you're listening to feel, because that's empathy.
Yeah, I don't like to use the word empath, because if you announce you're an empath, you're probably not one.
You
But
didn't have to.
Exactly.
An empath doesn't need to announce they're an empath. An empath will show you they're an empath. 9 times out of 10, if someone says they're an empath, they're not. They're just trying to virtue signal their empathy for you.
Right. And we're all empathic. That's the thing. We all have empathic abilities. And a lot of people are so empathic and so in their trauma that they're hyper vigilant.
Yes, yeah.
And they feel too much. They're stuck in the feeling.
Yeah, I over empathize and sympathize a lot. I cry probably too much. It's very hard for me to not take on the emotional pain of somebody when they're telling me.
Right.
Man.
I personally don't watch horror movies for this reason.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, like you have a crazy aura about you. I can feel it from over here just through talking to you. I could hear it in your voice.
I'm really strong in my convictions, and I've been that way for a long time. And I've been working on my masculine and feminine energies, say around about 2011.
Yeah, it's intense. It's rare. I can feel energy from people without really knowing them or whatever. There's been a few people I've met over the years, but you have so does Jevin, but you guys both have an interesting aura.
When I first saw her, okay, so we know where I found her, right?
No, I don't know. No.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I
our
found
moons
her,
and suns are reversed.
I found her on Hillman's show. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was watching for about a couple weeks because I really was into the whip because, I'm kind of a dominatrix attitude kind of. I think it's funny, But so I found her and he was like talking about the feminine, how he was there for the feminine. And then they had her on and they never let her say anything. And it pissed me off. And I was like, this is not the feminine. They're not being respectful for the feminine because they're using her as a prop for the feminine, not actually listening to the feminine. And I stole her.
Yeah.
Who are they using? Who are they using, Cheryl?
Yeah, the beard.
Huh?
They'll call
Devin,
it's called a beard.
yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I play the Native American flute.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and Jevin, yes.
But Devin
Speaking
knows
of
that
that,
story.
I
Right?
really
We've talked
believe
about that.
You're saying about Jevin was on the Babylon. I know there's a connection there. I believe when we're more in tune, we have a higher connection to attract us to people.
Exactly. And we have to get in our
You know what I'm
heart
saying?
space.
Like the
Yeah.
algorithms. Yes,
Yes,
our heart.
yes. It's
Mhm.
like the energy of my channel completely changed as soon as I took shit off that had to do with Hillman. I didn't
And I
take
kept telling her that too. I'm like, they're coming after your energy. They want your energy, no matter what they think, like whatever.
me too.
It was her energy that they wanted, and it made them mad.
Yeah, even if they didn't consciously know it, right?
Exactly, because she was the only feminine that they had, like real feminine. And that's why I said that they were using her as a prop, and it pissed me off. I even said it in the chat room. I was like, there's no feminine here. Y'all are trying to worship something that y'all are not. It's right in front of you.
But I agree. I see it too. I found the community very patriarchal, and they didn't even realize it.
It is very patriarchal.
Everything
I get called a turf, okay, all because I said, well, I don't even know all of Hillman's work to agree with him, and then I start getting called names.
Yeah, I got labeled a transphobe because I asked a question about. So there was. I'll explain the story. So there was a city that applied for. There was a city that applied to be a sanctuary city to have safety for the trans people there. Cool, awesome. But then I saw that Trump was removing federal funding from sanctuary cities. So I asked the question, aren't you kind of risking losing the
funds
safety fighting for because Trump is going to remove funding from a sanctuary city? So if your sanctuary city loses federal funding, it's going to the safety you're fighting for is going to be lost. And they're like, you're just transphobe. I'm like, what? Like,
well, you just can't disagree with any of them. Like, you can't have your own opinion. And that's what that lady in the video we were watching, she was talking about the divine masculine being like, don't follow another man.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Yeah, you can't.
Like, men following and looking up to other men shows women and other men that they were followers, not leaders.
Yeah, and they're deluded into thinking they're open-minded when they're not.
They're not at all.
It blows my mind that they could think they're so open and accepting, and it's like, but as soon as something comes up that makes them afraid, they accuse you of being the one afraid.
Yes,
they're like, you're a transphobe.
Or want to start drama.
How can you pathologize my opinion, or medicalize my opinion as a pathology? You're turning my opinion into a medical pathology,
and that's where that's exactly when I talk about stealing her, that show, that the one episode that I saw her on. That's exactly what I thought. It's like, it's all left brain thinking. It's all masculine left brain thinking. It's not intuition. It's logic.
Yeah. I mean, I can be a very logic driven person too.
Well, but you're a man. That's okay. It's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing to be logical. But when we're talking about the feminine isn't logic.
No, that's right.
Oh,
That's
it's
right. The feminine is the intuition. The feminine is the curve.
There is
way home. Yeah, right. The feminine is the scenic route. The masculine is the rigid.
There is logic.
Point A to point B, right?
Okay. Yeah. That's better, because we don't want to say it's not logic, because we have logic.
No, you're getting me wrong. We're talking about energy. The feminine energy is the right brain. It is the intuition. It is God. It is this. It's not logic.
Yes.
Left brain is logic. Feminine is right brain. Not to say that women are not logical, We're not saying that. We are saying the feminine essence is not logical.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, I got you. I thought you said it was. I misheard it. Mhm.
I've always been
Yeah, I've done.
an intuition driven person by default. Anyway.
You know, and men who are tapped into their feminine nature, we're not talking about sexual nature. We're talking about feminine nature where they can be receptive in music, because without being tapped into your feminine nature, you can't be good at music.
Yeah. It's truly the only thing I know and understand. Well, not really, but yes.
Because you're not tapping into logic when you're a good musician. You're tapping into your intuition. You're tapping into the flow of the music.
Yeah, it's funny actually, because I'm doing as shitty as Hillman's community is, I still find him entertaining, and
He's definitely entertaining.
He's starting to go on a cool journey of learning and understanding music right now.
Well, I think we sparked that because he didn't start that. If you've been watching him, you notice that he's talking about dance and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he's been paying attention to us.
Yeah, so I'm right. I'm working on a presentation right now, and it's the duality between Pythagoras' music theory and Aristophanes' music theory. And Pythagoras was all rigid and math and logic oriented in music theory, and it's what birthed like the Baroque era of music, and it's rigid, and it doesn't break any rules. And it took a long time, basically until 1880, before the ideas of Aristophanes, which is using your ear and feeling the music and letting your intuition be the guide. It's like jazz. Like Aristophanes was a jazz musician 2,000 years ahead of his time, basically. And it took until basically now, well, 1880. 1880 was when the two ideas have kind of merged, because both of them have their place, but it's only really now, in the Western world anyway, that those two ideas are being merged. Like Middle Eastern music has always been the Aristophanes view of things, the letting your ear be the guide.
Right.
Pythagoras, who felt the senses are untrustworthy. You have to rely on the math.
Right. It's all about the math, and he brought out a lot of good work when it comes to music, because we talk about different tones and frequencies and vibration and all of that. But with the opposite side, when you play by ear, you play better because you're not thinking.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Right. You are correct. Now there still has to be the training of the ear, right? Which
depends on the person. It really depends on the person.
True. Yeah. I mean, you can't have perfect pitch, but yes, I'm speaking in generalizations here. But yes, most people need to train their ear. I don't. For me, I don't know what it's like to not know how to play music. I don't remember before.
But you also dance.
Yes, I didn't start dancing until the last year, but yeah.
Still though, the dance helps. Okay, so like my dad's a drummer. My dad is a blind drummer. Okay, it helps to play by ear, and when you hear so the drum holds the beat, right?
100%. Yeah.
So, but when you know the beat, and you can bounce around between the beat.
Yes. That's my favorite.
Just like a guitarist, just like a bass drummer. I played the French horn in school. So yeah, so I know music theory and I know notes and all of it. So like, yeah, you can bounce around. If you know that steady beat, you can bounce in between fractions.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where the fun really is, right? I fucking love dancing. Like the last year, I dance all the time. I dance all the time. Even though we're dancing, even when there's no fucking music on. We host a trivia at the bar that I help run. I'm dancing all the time through that. Everyone's like, "How are you so happy?" And it's like,
because it makes you happy. It gets that blood flowing and that body moving, and it moves that cortisol that's stuck in our lymph nodes.
Yeah, it's like it makes me. I don't want to say I regret not dancing, but I really go. Maybe I am. Well, I don't want to say regret, but I'm wishing I've been dancing for my whole life because it's amazing. Like
I have been. So
I'm a huge advocate of it. Yeah, it's the insecurity of thinking people are watching you
Movement
is
is
hard
important.
to let go of.
the insecurity, a lot of people have that. A lot of people like, oh, I can't dance. I don't know how to dance. And that's not even what dancing's about. It's not
No,
about knowing choreographic moves. It's not about how you look. It's about what it makes you feel inside.
Yeah.
Who cares what anybody else think? People judge you for everything. Let them fucking judge.
Yeah. I don't even know how I even
Yeah.
danced the first
Remember
like,
that
in the
saying,
last
laugh
year.
like nobody's listening.
Yeah. I do that a lot.
Remember, Marcel, laugh like, Marcel, remember that saying, laugh like nobody's listening, dance like nobody's watching.
Yeah.
You let that feeling go through you, okay? Yeah. You just feel, because obviously you make the music. You just let it go through you, like nobody's watching. Because I think movement, as all Indigenous people, they have dance.
Well,
And
hey,
the
your
drumming.
mic is popping
That's
again.
part of our healing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there might be a slight delay too. I think.
Yeah,
I think there's a slight delay.
I think so. A slight delay and a pop. And it's popping when she talks. So like she could have it turned up too high or something.
Yeah, it's probably that. And just in how she's responding, it's like she's responding to something that happened 10 seconds ago. I think there's a delay in how we're
Right.
coming through to her.
Yes. She was having a hard time earlier with StreamYard, so I don't know if it's StreamYard for on her end or whatever, but yeah, there's definitely a delay and a slight pop.
Yeah,
So, but music and dance and all of this, it would help men so much more if they did tap into that part of themselves, because it is the intuition, it is the feeling. And yeah, we all have to start somewhere with music, even Hillman, right? And
Yeah.
Hillman, is he doing it because he wants to learn the music, or is he doing it because it's cool?
It's tonight's episode really made me think he's like kind of learning something.
Oh, is he? I don't watch it very often because,
Yeah,
well, just because.
Really made me feel like he's like he's actually learning how important music is to the fabric.
Well, I mean, if he wants to talk about Orpheus and the Lair, then yeah, he's going to have to learn. He can't just talk about it. You got to be about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I asked him for an interview. He won't let me interview him.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's probably going to be weary on that just for the sake of the interview playing hardball,
Well, I'm not trying to make him work. I'm definitely not trying to pay him anything.
No.
Hey,
I just mean the becoming a character assassination.
Listen.
Oh no, I even told him that.
Listen, be
I'm
quiet.
listening.
I want to welcome Violet Prisoner. I've never seen them here in my chat before. Welcome. This stream
Welcome.
And then people, thank you. Healing really begins when you ask yourself what comes after knowing yourself.
Yes, and know thyself is always very important. And, and when we talk about doing shadow work, a lot of people don't get this when it comes to shadow work because we all want to blame everybody, but we've got to talk about like how we got ourselves in that situation.
Yeah,
we've got to take accountability of I put myself here for whatever reason, for love, for sex, for drugs, for alcohol, for money. You did put yourself in that situation. It's not always the other person because you're there.
Right.
Yes. Like the scariest place on the planet is the bathroom mirror people are too afraid to look in, man.
Oh, yeah. Man, I do drugs and go look in the mirror just so I can deal with myself.
I mean, taking accountability for yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I get through my shit through the mirror, right?
Yeah, right. Like everyone has skeletons in their closet. If you think you don't, you ain't looking.
Right, right. And then also once we face ourselves for realsels, shizzles, nizzles, sizzles, we're gonna definitely be able to be more accepting of others.
My nizzle.
Yeah.
You guys are funny.
Yeah. I was
We play well on each other. I think that's why we get along really well. You
yeah.
know.
My moon's in Sagittarius and her moon's in Capricorn.
No, my Venus is in Capricorn. I love you, baby.
Oh,
No,
I
we
love
work well together. In the fifth house, my fifth house is Capricorn, and we work well together. We bounce ideas off of each other. We're not trying to compete with each other. I let her be me. She lets me be me.
Yeah,
I let her be her. I mean,
it's a cool dynamic. I like it. I don't really know that deep into my astrology at all, or whatever. My friend sent me this app. You like put your fucking birth date and time in there, and it gives you all that stuff. It never it didn't work for me. I had to pay for it and stuff, and I was like,
oh, you're not going to the right places then.
Well, yeah, I have a good app. Put your stuff in the private chat.
My what?
Your birth time and everything.
Oh, okay, sick. You could do it for me, because I don't.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
I'm stubborn and thick-headed. I'm not going to go do that. So,
Okay. All right. Okay, so this must be Paula.
Okay. I wasn't trying to be rude to her, but the popping was getting bad for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's oh shit, is that the private one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure, right?
I think
but like I'm into astrology, so I'm really into about all that stuff. And yeah, she's got the Sagittarius moon, I've got the Capricorn Venus. So like the artistic side of me, she can bring it out. I can bring out her emotional side and understand it because I'm a Sagittarius. So I'm all about all this stuff. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find women who are into the knowledge and who understand it and who are willing to put themselves out there like she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got balls.
And I even if I don't fully believe in it, I'm not saying I don't, but I still think it's neat. Like I don't. It's.
Did you say meek or weak?
Neat.
Neat. Okay.
Neat. I find it neat. Like even if it's not true, I still think it's neat. You know, because it's a source.
Most people don't dive deep into astrology. They don't really understand it. Like, you know, as an astrologer, it could tell you a lot about yourself. I love astrology because it's helped me. Like, a lot of astrologers won't say this, but you can transcend your birth chart if you work with your birth chart. If you understand the transits that we got going on, like right now we've got Saturn going into Aries, and Neptune went into Aries, and like it's all crazy right now. Everybody's energy is like all Aries, go. We have our North Node in Pisces. That means it's all dreamy. Like that's where we should be going instead of the Virgo South Node, which is all analytical and mind and do and you know, just you know. And so like astrology has helped me transcend my life. It's made my life better because I pay attention to it and I pay attention to the energies. But I also call myself an energy worker. You know, I'm not scared of negative energy. I will hop right into it and turn it around.
Yeah, me too. I think you know, finding I just don't. I think if anyone finds a purpose, whether that's astrology or running a nonprofit and getting toys for sick kids or something, like it's still doing good work. You know, it's finding your purpose, as long as that purpose isn't willfully harming other people.
Right.
Then who truly cares? You know, like you're like, there is no greater good. The first step to greater good is the first step to evil. All the world's greatest atrocities were done under the guise of the greater good. Evil people don't think they're fucking being evil. These
The
things
road
are,
to hell is paved with good intentions.
you know, you're right. That's what my grandma says all the time. They right. People think they're doing in their heart of hearts what they feel is right. They think they're, you know, you can't, right? Like that's, yeah.
Well, people, I mean, everybody wants to be right about something. We all need that in life, you know. We all need to feel good about ourselves, but people just take it too far, you know.
They
It
do.
becomes I'm right, you're wrong, no matter what you say.
Yeah, because people need to feel like they won, I guess. But
Yes,
like you know, every man's like one man's trash is another man's treasure, but the opposite is true. One man's treasure is another man's trash.
very true, very true. Like I don't
So
really wear watches till.
that's why.
Marcel has a grand trine in air.
Oh, okay.
Sis.
So you're good with communication.
Yeah. Or bad.
I can be good with communication. It's not so much like some verbally getting it out. It can be hard. Sometimes I got to try it a few times, but I'm good at listening and understanding, which are two major parts of communication.
Well, grand trine, it means it flows real easily for you. What other kind of communication? It doesn't have to be speaking. It could be tech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. And if you're having issues with those, then maybe you should look to the chart as to what's clogging it up. And he's got a 4-point stellium in Sagittarius, a 3-point stellium in Aquarius.
That's why we get along. That's why you like me, is because I got a stellium in Sagittarius as well.
I told you I could feel it. Like, I mean,
I think
that's that fire.
my stellium's in Aries.
What? I don't even know what any of this means. But
no, but we do.
My stellium's in Aries.
Oh.
But my moon and my Neptune's in Saggy. All right. Let's go, Marcel. Let's look at it. All right. His
pull it up.
moon.
Well, she's not going to pull it up, but she'll tell us, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Listen,
So his moon is in Capricorn and his Neptune's in Capricorn.
What house?
Let me look. Moon in the 11th house in Capricorn.
11th house, Capricorn. Oh, your friends. Your friends, your social environment is moon in Capricorn. Your emotions can be real stern.
They can be, yes.
Real earthy, grounded.
Like
if I feel betrayed or lied to, yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean Capricorns are just as bad as Scorpios when they get hurt. But
oh fuck yeah. Like if I feel betrayed or lied to, I'm the devil. You don't want to know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that Earth, that's that Saturn energy. That's that Saturn energy that's hitting your moon, your emotions. And it's in your 11th house. So you might come off like you might have to daddy your friends.
Yeah, I can do I do it all the time. Yeah.
We'll make a believer out of you.
Oh, I'm not saying I don't believe by any means.
Well, that's just how in-depth astrology can be. It's not just your sun sign. It's everywhere. It's what house that it's in. It's how it's hitting different angles on different planets. Like astrology is mathematics, and it's just an archetypal language that we speak through.
Yeah, I love it. I'm not saying I don't believe it at all. I just don't have the breadth of knowledge to be able to recall and understand any of it. But I could.
But did I hit that? You said you daddy your friends, or you have to be. Not that you want to be, but sometimes you have to be daddy to your friends.
Yeah, for sure. I love kind of doing that. To be honest with you, I love
So that's the placement you have. It's okay to do that because that's your placement.
Right? Yeah. I like giving advice is probably my favorite thing on the planet, next to playing music. Like listening to someone's problem and helping them work through it is probably my favorite thing. But it's partially because it helps me not have to deal with my own. But
well, right. But it's okay though, because dealing with your own emotions in the 11th house is like it's okay, it's friendly. It's, Capricorn can be cold and stern, but that's that tough love that some people need.
Yeah, and I also question the validation of my feelings a lot. I'll feel like someone's using me or abusing me, and then I'll wonder, should I feel this way? Am I correct in feeling that they're actually taking advantage of me or whatnot?
Well, I mean, really, you would have to know, has that happened in the past? Is it something that you've had a problem with? And that's why you're saying that, or you just feel that? Should be the question.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well,
like your past. Did someone screw you over so bad that it's stuck in trauma?
Oh.
And then you're projecting that, or you don't have that in your past?
No, that's really what's going on. Yeah. Although there is okay, so my grandparents, that's where I live right now. I live with my grandparents. They're not here right now. They're away on a trip. I was raised by them, but they basically got a team of lawyers to get my custody as a child. So all my life I grew up feeling like they stole me from her. So I've had this animosity and hatred forever, basically. And it's
well, I can see that, I mean, my grandparents raised me. My mom was there, but she wasn't mentally there. But my grandparents raised me, so it might have been a good thing. I don't know what your mom was doing at the time.
Yeah, I just never, I never got answers. I wasn't allowed to visit her. It's a lot for sure. It's a big conversation. My mom moved away when I was 4. She moved back here for the first time 5 years ago. I met my half brother. I had a half sister. She passed in a car crash. That's neither here nor there. But I understood why they did it, but I'm 40 and I still live with my grandparents. They still spoon feed me. I'm still very independent because of how enabling they are over it. Not that that's a bad thing, because it gives me the freedom and time to learn and understand moments like this, but I don't really work or have money or anything. Right now, though, that's a good thing because I'm struggling with a horrible addiction.
The best diet is to be poor, right?
Yeah, it's the best thing ever, But I can talk for hours and listen. I can also talk about anything. You can bring up any subject and I'll listen.
Well, we're going to talk about your birth chart.
Well, you guys talk a second. I'll be right back.
Sorry, did I derail it?
No. I don't see. Here's the thing: is if I want to reel stuff in, I will. But if I want to let it go, I like to let it go. And when the vibe's the vibe, I let it go. Right. So I want to talk about your Saturn, right? It's like the ruling planet of Capricorn, right, of your moon is the hard knocks motherfucker, right? Tempered by steel. Absolutely. It's in Sagittarius. Venus is in Sagittarius and Uranus is in Sagittarius. Your rising's a Pisces. You wishy-washy will wuck. And Mercury's also in Aquarius. So, and that's part of your Grand Tron. So
wishy-washy woot what?
Wishy-washy woot woot. Yeah, his ascendant is a Pisces. So hey, I had my grandmother and my aunt. If it wasn't for my grandmother and my aunt, I would probably be in jail or dead. So his Saturn's in Sagittarius. So's Venus.
That's hard.
Yeah, and Uranus too. Let me look up that.
That sounds crazy. I'm just a Sagittarius.
Well, I mean, we're all the signs. It just
Yeah.
how much Sagittarius energy you have, and you have a lot. And that's probably why you can feel my energy, because it's a symmetry. It's a center. I can't say it now, but it works. We have the angles hitting our charts that make us understand each other because of the Sagittarius energy.
Okay, cool. That's neat. Yeah. Like it's almost overwhelming. Like, to be honest.
Well, you have that Sagittarius Venus. You might be in love.
Yeah, I do fall in love real quick, but
I'm joking with you. Hopefully, you know that.
I know. I'm a huge fan of comedy, man. If you can't laugh at yourself, you might as well go back to bed.
Oh, I can laugh at myself all day long. My truck broke down, and I've been laughing ever since. Because that's all I can do.
Do you guys both have a Discord or anything? I'll join.
I have a Discord. It's not active.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you in the private chat your Venus. Is it? Wait, hold on. Venus and Sagittarius.
I'm thirsty. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, and I want to look at his Saturn in Sagittarius too. Jesus, fuck, that's probably gotta hurt.
Right, and then it's right next to his Venus. That's gonna have I don't know. Venus and Saturn kind of get along, but they can outshine one another. You know what I mean? Like if the orbs too close to one another, Venus could like have issues. It's really just how he works with it.
See, I think my Sagittarius moon is what's kept me on this constant quest for truth and knowledge.
And that's exactly what it is. Yes.
Constantly.
That's
Like,
Sagittarius.
I just eat up information. I have always been that way. Is that what I'm looking for? No, keep going.
I'm back.
Right. Well, see, I'm an auditory learner. Like I can learn faster by watching and listening than I can ever read a book.
Okay.
I can agree to
Marcel,
that.
those links are yours in the private chat.
Oh, okay, should I go then? Oh.
He's kind of scared. Ooh,
Well, I tell you
but he
straight
likes the stuff because he's got that Sagittarius, he's got that Pisces, and that Pisces can give him intuition as well. What I want to know about his chart, where is his Taurus? Where's that Taurus at? Not planets, but the house. Where's Taurus sitting his housing?
Oh, Venus and Sagittarius.
Have anything in Taurus in the house?
Well, no, but what house is it? Well, now the reason I'm asking because Taurus usually gives the musical ability. Taurus and Leo usually that's where you get the voice, the stage presence and stuff like that.
His Chiron is in the third house. But
okay, so his emotional healing, the wounded healer, needs to be community.
Yeah, well, it's in Gemini.
Oh,
It's
well,
in
definitely
Taurus's
community.
house. Yeah.
Are you guys implying that like I get all my healing from the sense of community? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
right now?
you get your pain from the community, and you need to heal it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pluto's in Scorpio too. Wow. Dark moon.
And when you heal that, like when you heal your Chiron, you work with your Chiron placement, it gives you extra abilities. Once you work with that kind of thing, the healing in that placement, you're better to work in that placement.
Okay.
I want to look at his dark moon Lilith too. It's in Cancer. That's got to be rough. It feels rough.
What do you mean?
Your dark moon Lilith in Cancer, yeah.
Sorry, we're talking about your chart, not with you.
I know. Yeah, you're talking at me, not to me. Oh, joy.
Listen, I'll just read. I'll read what it says if you want me to. Lilith in
Go ahead.
Okay.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, can I read it? Okay, Lilith in Cancer suggests that you feel extremely vulnerable and lack nurturing as a child.
100%, yes.
it is hard to ask for help and accept it with this placement. There can be a fear of being a burden on others. I sense that deeply. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lilith in Cancer is insecure and anxious. You feel stuck in a shell. You whittle. Listen, I got shit. Okay. If you have this placement in your birth chart, you are strongly tied to your family and roots, but this bond tends to be sabotaging.
That's where your hurt comes from, as far as in your parents.
It's hard for you to think of yourself as a separate individual because of this. The process of growing up is hindered. Lilith here has to learn to be emotionally independent. No one else needs to give you validation, Marcel.
Oh, you guys are gonna make me cry. Stop.
Okay.
We already did, and we love it. It's okay. You're in a safe space to do that.
Yeah, you can cry, and if anybody says anything, I'll fucking knock them out. Okay.
I'm gonna tie them up and spank them.
You can spank them. I just slap them in the face.
I love crying. Man, it's probably one of my favorite things in the world.
Well, it's a release, like a release of energy. Guys who don't cry, they have heart problems.
I cry all the time. It's beautiful. All it takes is the right note or the anything, right?
And that is based on the divine masculine, which has integrated their feminine. And if you feel comfortable and it actually feels good to you, that means that you have integrated part of your divine feminine. Maybe not the mother aspect, but the feeling part of it, the way you can feel, and that a lot of men miss that.
Oh yeah. This is why all of my friends call me a real empath, right? Again, I don't like announcing that, but yeah.
Marcel, I dropped the rest of Lilith in there, and honestly, I mean, I think because my ruling planet is Saturn, I think I feel Saturn and Dark Moon Lilith first when I meet people before anything. I mean, that's really weird, but I do. And it's
what do you mean?
Well, I mean,
her intuition.
Because, my intuition for people is like when I read the cards, it always taps into like the shadow and what they really need to work on.
Okay.
Yeah, like the swift kick in the ass, and I think I pick up on those aspects of what placement somebody has Saturn's and Dark Moon Lilith in. I don't know why.
You mean
and my placement for Saturn is the 12th house. So mine's subconscious.
You're saying you felt my Dark Moon Lilith before you checked it. Your intuition was correct?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
And I told you about you Googling the world's most expensive watch.
Oh yeah. You told me on that. I mean, it wasn't that wasn't too personal, but I don't want to pull your thunder away from calling that out. But you were right there.
I know what I mean. I'm not a pompous asshole about it. I'm pretty humble, but Cheryl could tell you I'm right about a lot of shit.
yeah. I always regret not trusting my gut because my fucking gut's always right.
Right?
Fuck you up if you don't.
I
will being an empath. You were talking earlier. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you were talking about earlier. If someone announces they're an empath, what is usually happening, it's not that they're not an empath, but what usually is happening is they are so stuck in someone else's energy that they can't feel their own energy.
Yeah. Okay. I'll agree to that. Yeah. That's neat.
Well, we're going almost 3 hours and 30 minutes.
I know. So and there's like 4 people, and there's only 2 people talking. So
well, it's been a good conversation. I'm glad we did it, and it wasn't bashing men. It wasn't anything like that. Both of us, we do have our own issues with men, but I also have issues with women too, as far as in how they interact in the world. But I think it was a great conversation. It was much needed, even if it was just a few people watching, you know?
Well, we
Yeah.
have steady like 10 to 12.
Right.
That's good. That's good.
And I'm not worried about numbers at all.
No,
No.
I'm not either
Perhaps.
anymore.
And
Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to do more commentary on Jade's work because I really love her work. And if she ever has an issue with it, I guess she'll tell me. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I know we can do commentaries and stuff, and I am trying to focus more on healing and community.
And you're not trying to make money off of it, so it's not like it's a, you know,
No,
that kind of
no,
thing.
I mean, I don't even have to monetize this live stream. I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
That's
And
how
we didn't make her,
unaffected
you know,
I
and
am.
we loved her work and we put it in a good light, you know, we just added our own little thing, you know. It would be different if we were bashing her work than, you know, but we'll see.
Right. Right. Yeah, we'll see. And we'll see because this is a whole learning experience. I'm totally exploring this whole new realm of the occult. And I love it.
It's beautiful to watch. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
Well,
thank
that's
you.
good.
Because
Yeah.
we know we're very powerful together and we make shit happen.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Power is in unity, not in division. Right.
Right. And that's what they want. They want to divide us in all ways that they can.
Yeah,
Right.
man, identity politics is the bane of existence.
Healing
It really
you.
is.
Yes, Paula. Paula, I'm so sorry you have so many tech issues. I would be a raging lunatic at this point if I was you. I'd be like throwing shit, breaking shit,
Yeah.
cutting down power lines, making them replace them with brand new ones. No, I'm joking.
No, I would drive down the road to make sure I got internet somewhere just to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you guys sound like me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, in this space, it's fun and it's okay to have wild emotions.
Right.
Oh, I got tears all over me.
Oh, bless them.
I'll for sure be back though, for sure.
All right, well, everybody, thank you for joining us. This has been amazing and
It's great.
empowering, and we're gonna do it again.
Yes, yes, for sure. And we're going to do a lot of other things. We've got to just keep on rolling with it, you know?
Indeed.
All right, you wrote it. Bye, everybody.